Hello and welcome to Tuesday night. This is a call-in show. I got a couple announcements ahead of that. First of all, starting with these sunglasses. Now, I'm colorblind. And since I was a kid and I first got tested for colorblindness, the optometrist that said that, he said, oh, well, there's correcting lenses that you can get. He actually specifically mentioned contact lenses. Well, that was a while ago, and since then, the technology and the ease of use of these of them has gone moved forward a lot. But there's only so much you can do. Well, there are colorblind correcting sunglasses. That's what these are, and I've wanted them for a long time, but I never wanted to spend that much money on myself. Well, I mentioned it in a live stream, I think at least 6 months ago, more than that. And a couple people, specifically one I emailed with, named Kevin, I won't say his last name, but Kevin, really, he said, you should do a fundraiser stream. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't ask for that. So I'm like, I just didn't do it. So what I did is I'm like, well, when I can, I will get them. And so that's what happened. It was... set aside enough each month, and so I got them. These are Enchroma colorblind correcting sunglasses, and they're pretty. It's pretty awesome. I'm red-green colorblind, and things that are purple, I don't know that they're purple. I usually call them blue. Things that are like a light greenish, they're just beige. I just say beige or gray. I get colors wrong. Brown looks red. Red looks brown. So anyway, it was because of this channel, because of views, super chats, patrons, that I was able to get these that I've wanted for so long. So thank you to everybody for it. I can't read anything. I see stuff going by. I need reading glasses to read, and these are not reading glasses. They're just sunglasses. So normally I don't wear glasses when I'm not reading. So when I'm driving, when I'm talking to people, I don't wear glasses. So last night, I got these yesterday, and last night I coach Ultimate Frisbee, and we have a bag. We call it the purple bag. And the only reason why I know it's purple is because we call it the purple bag. If it wasn't called the purple bag, I would think it's blue. And the purple bag was in the back of our vehicle, and I had these on. I walk around to it, and I look to grab it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's purple. It's a strong purple. It was blue to me. So anyway, these were pretty cool, quite amazing. The sunset last night, wow. No wonder people look at sunsets. I thought they were kind of boring. Seriously, I've thought that sunsets are boring. I also think that rainbows are boring. There's a dark band in them. Like I see the colors, but it's just not that interesting. So I'm interested to see what a rainbow will look like with this. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody, and thank you specifically, Kevin, for encouraging me to do this, and also to my wife, who also said you definitely should get them. So there you go. All right, now so I can read, I got to do this. Ooh. So let me scroll back here. A couple of the things that people said. All right, MCToon playing Mark Steele. I do have the Mark Steele, and I think they kind of are a similar shape. Like, yeah, they kind of are. Similar shape to the Mark's. These are not Mark Steele sunglasses. This is just a sunglasses I found online, and then I put the Toon. If you see it, it's a little hard to see the Toon that I have on a lot of my thumbnails. The Tron guy is in the reflection. So Dave Fierce says, me and Obi-Wan trolled Trey and he quit his live stream. Well done, Dave Fear. Cinnamon Control for $5 says, you look like a very, very expert with those fancy spectacles. Thank you for that. Robert Gillis, are you going to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'll be... yeah. All right, hold on. Gotta get them back out. When I first put them on, everything is like reddish color until I adjust a little bit. I'll be back. That's my best Schwarzenegger accent. Do they obey Snail's law? Says Obi-Wan. Of course they do obey Snail's law. They use gravitational lensing. Good Gremlin Media says, is Tron Legacy your fave movie? I feel like it is. I liked it. I did. And when I've watched the old Tron since then, I'm like, that's pretty rough. But the new one, I love it, yes. And I keep watching. They keep talking about, like, they're teasing that they're going to make a new one. But they don't. But yes, I like it. It wasn't the best. There were a couple plot holes, but I allow my suspension of disbelief to take over and enjoy it. I've liked I like the music. I like Daft Punk. I enjoy techno. I mean, metal. I'm a metalhead, but I do enjoy some techno. So, Mandevil. So, is this the first time you've seen the colors clear, or have you test driven a pair before? I never test drove them. I never did. Nope. This was the first time. So, can I hum the tune? I wear my sunglasses at night, and I cannot hum the tune with that. To a HD Cat says I have to check email. All right, I will. Give me a second. Citizen 9 says, well, colorblind here too. MCToon, are they any good? Looked at buying them before, saw vids of people using them, and never believed the hype. How good are they? They are good. They're good. I'm a strong pro-tan. I'm actually off the scale a little bit. So it wasn't. So it's not like totally there, but I think I'm not too far off the scale. Sometimes I've taken a different test and it doesn't say that I'm off the scale, so I'm somewhere in there. Anyway, so yeah, they're good. The cost is there. They're not. I'm sad. I'm saddened by the cost. They should not be. I'm just. Anyway, they're kind of spendy. So. So is it worth it? I'm glad I have them. If you can swing it, swing it. How about that? Make it happen. Let's see. John Suffield says, red green colorblind. Can I ask you about traffic lights? Yes. So the red in traffic lights is a very strong red, and it's at the top. The green in traffic lights looks white to me. The LED ones have enough green that I can see green, but the regular traffic lights are white, the incandescent ones. And that's actually how my parents discovered I was colorblind, because I told my dad one time we're at a stoplight, and I'm like, you can go, it's white. He's like, it's not white, it's green. Like, oh, that's how they figured it out. To a HD Cat, I will put that on screen and briefly. It's pretty good. It's coming up, people. Little foreshadowing of what's happening here. So, okay. Let's finish this. Is Microraptor, everything is blue. Dabadoo, dib, dabadoo. I don't know. Sorry. All right. It jumped. It jumped on me. Oh my goodness. I was trying to like read everybody that tagged me. I need to solve a Rubik's. Now you need to solve a Rubik's Impossible. Yeah, some of the Rubik's Cubes I can't solve because the colors are too close. Mute Ducky, you need to wear both glasses together. I can. I have. But they're actually, I mean, it looks kind of funny. They're sunglasses. They work by blocking the light that I see well and letting through the light that I don't see as well. So they have to do that by blocking a lot of light. So Joe Whip says, congrats, having regained my vision this year. I get it. You lost your vision. How did you lose your vision? Wow, well, good you have it back. Will it make your time better solving the cube? No, these cubes I can see. Timbo Turtle. Sir Little, now you have to be in the bathroom too. What? Your clothes gave them to me. Your clothes, give them to me. Oh, that's Schwarzenegger. Yes. All right, I'm gonna have to jump ahead. I'm too far back. All right. Good Gremlin. Oh, jeez, it jumped again. Good Gremlin Media says it wasn't the best. You say about a movie your entire channel is themed after. Well, it's the old Tron, the 80s Tron wasn't the best. The new one is a great movie. It's not my favorite movie, but I love it. I do love it. But yeah, it's because of Toon Tron. That's why. So, all right. I sent you a video on Flurf Math, so learn it well. It's okay. John Seffel says, I'm glad your parents found out so quickly. Unfortunately, my vision is blind to anything that isn't Scotch. Scotch or curry. Okay. All right. I have a second thing that's going on. I cracked the code. If you remember back in, I think April, I was talking with Chris Wood about doing the cold moonlight experiment that flat earthers think. And I was writing it up, and the problem was that how do you stop people that from gaming the system, right? If it's water, they could throw something in from off screen. That they could use a digital thermometer that's got it's been hacked on the inside. The biggest risk isn't from flat earthers, actually. It's from globe earthers that game the system. So it occurred to me how to do it now. It's a two-part. It raises the bar a little bit, but it lets people do a beta test basically. So here's the change, and I need to write it up yet, but I'm gonna write it up and then I'm gonna do it myself. So the thing is, it's you need to live stream from two different views at the same time, and you need to show that when the moonlight is on both of the I think it's in the shade. When both are in the shade, that they equalize in temperature, and then you move the blind. The blind is vertical; it's not above it; it's to the side, and you move the blind so that the moon is just shining on one of the targets. Once they've equalized, then you shine the moonlight on just one of the targets, and it needs to change by a certain amount. I think I said 5 degrees Celsius. And how do you make sure that they don't cheat that? Well, the way you do that is you have to have an observer there. But I'm not going to just send an observer to everybody that's like, I want to do this. So the deal is, the change is they do it first. They do it first without an observer, and they need to show that it gets a difference of temperature of 5 degrees. And once they do that, then at my expense, I will have an observer go there. And the observer will bring the temperature taking device. So if their device is an infrared thermometer, the observer will bring one, and I'll just send them the money to do it. If it's some other thing, again, I will make sure that the temperature sensing device is something provided by me. So their dry run, their beta test, they do it themselves. But when it's done for real, then the thing is they need to show that it actually makes that 5-degree change. And if it doesn't make that 5-degree change, then of course there's no need for an observer to come to the next one. They did not actually do what the challenge is. And of course there is that's the test. The control is that 2 weeks later on the new moon, plus or minus 1 or 2 days, they do the same thing, and they show that there is using the same setup, that they show that there is no change in temperature. Because the thing is, in cold moonlight garbage, is they have the thing that's warmer and there's something above it, and that's actually trapping the heat a little bit. And then the colder part, there's nothing above it, so that the heat is allowed to escape. It's called radiative cooling. But it's insulative. So anyway, so the deal, that is how I'm going to adjust it, so that people can actually try to run the test, and I will really be offering the same thing as I've offered before. I'm going to do the test myself, and I hope to do it in September. The next full moon is September 10. And I think it's Saturday, but you can do it within a couple days. So Saturday, September 10, I plan to do it. Where it is. Yes, September 10 is a Saturday. So the plan is to do it on September 10th, and it'll be somewhere in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I thought about doing it right in front of the US Bank Stadium, because in the middle of the night, there's nobody there. It's actually, I've been there. I filmed a video there once before. It's on my channel. I thought about that, but I don't know. Be somewhere. We'll do it somewhere. Walls can help retain heat as well. Yes. So it needs to be the stipulations. It has to be the table needs to be a certain distance from any walls, from any structures at all, from any trees. So you need an open space, and then one table, and both things are sitting on the same table. And so you take the temperature measurements of the same thing, and at least 2 meters away is the shade, and it's vertical. So the sunlight comes down at an angle, right? So there's nothing above it, and it's no more than 2 meters away, or no less than 2 meters away. And it's near both of them. So it can't have a super strong influence just on one. So it could have some. Anyway, that's how it's going to be. So if anybody is interested in September 10 coming to somewhere in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, in a park that's not near structures, that's the plan. So it needs to be good enough that we can live stream. So we need some cell phone service. So Robert Gillis says you can try testing in North Minneapolis. The problem is I do not want to be in Minneapolis at that time on a Saturday night. So Mandevil, sorry, but really curious. Was it a revelation when you first saw purple? Did it look like you imagined? Are you a Prince fan now? I live in Minnesota, and I never was a Prince fan. Yes, it was. Yeah, seeing that, like, it caught me off guard. I'd been wearing it for a while. We drove to where we were practicing, and so I had them on, and my eyes had adjusted instead of everything seeming to be tinted funny. And then I looked, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the purple just was so strong. So there it is. All right. Michael Raptor, next thing you should do is ask him to do the Warmpus experiment. It's not a real thing, but just want to notice the joke. Want to see if they notice the joke. Oh, I didn't get it, but anyway. This is a call-in show, and I already got a message from Keith Ivan Mitchell, he wants to join. He's a flurf and he wants to flat smack me. But first is Frank Burns, who requested to be first. So I'll do that. And oh, I get it. Warm piss. Warm piss. Yeah, nice. Then drink it first. All right. If you're interested in coming on, I think it's just going to be one at a time. And not for a long time. Send me a message. Specifically if you have questions, especially if you've never been on before. So Judy, you got this. Is, will you need help for your next Lego build? Well, yeah, they're sunglasses. They don't work inside. So, Frank Burns, send me a message. All right, I searched for you. Got it. Okay. There is the Zoom link. Frank Burns. Melka Ray says, I don't have a setup to call in, but I did show why Flatzoid was wrong with his last video. I'll link it in Discord. So many things. Flatzoid is so... He is my top left choice. I mean, that I don't know if anybody is going to be able to out top left Flatzoid. So do they make indoor ones? They do make indoor ones. They are significantly less corrective. So all right, Frank Burns can't. So all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pop it in here. There it is. I have the waiting room on. So you might sit in there for a while. I will let you know before coming on that you're coming, so there's your chance to turn down the audio. So yeah, Frank Burns can't do it. Too bad. Says, thanks, Toon. I wanted you to do this. So yeah, Frank Burns was asking for this. He'd been asking for a while, and but he's got some other things to do, so that's okay. It's better if you're on screen. So if you can be on screen, that's good. If you can't, you can't. It's okay. So, all right. So to go over a little more of the detail. All right, let me read this. Melka Ray says, I'm currently working on using his model to show that 60 nautical miles per degree still doesn't work with the flat surface. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. And I commented. So the way that what Flatzoid did is he's like, here's how you do triangulation on flat Earth. And then he does actual triangulation and he draws this dome. He called it a bubble. He poor Flatzoid. I mean, he's just so dumb. He drew a bubble, a dome, and he actually did like a triangulation up to where a star is on that, and like as if that dome has you in the middle of it. The peak of the dome which of course doesn't work for flat Earth, because in reality, according to flat earthers, the peak of the dome is at the North Pole. It can't be, not everybody gets their own dome. This personal dome stuff doesn't actually work. Not at all. There's no plausible mechanism for it. But he does the triangulation, and he uses 60 nautical miles per degree to draw his line of position. And all I did was comment 60 nautical miles per degree. Gonna need R for that. That was it. And the flurfs got set off by that. They're like, it's the celestial sphere model, the flat Earth celestial sphere model. I'm like, don't care. That doesn't work. You need R for 60 nautical miles per degree. Robert Luscombe says, you do realize that when the flurfers don't get the results they expect, they'll cry that you narrowed the parameters to get your desired results. I do realize that. Of course, the problem with the the cold moonlight experiment that all the flirts do is there is no control measurement. They don't realize, they think that the test is the moonlight part and the control is the non-moonlight part. No, the measurement of those two, the differential in temperature is the test. The control is repeating the setup when the moon's not there. Flat earthers don't understand science, and they don't understand how to do controls in science. So, all right. All right. I'm not going to look at that right now, Melka Rave. Thank you for that. So that does look interesting. So Melka, it's not an L. It's an I. MEIKA. So it's Mica Ray. Sorry. So it's a tweet, and then it's a GeoGebra calculator thing. Here's what I get done with 60 nautical per degree. Set up with the first degree from vertical 60 nautical miles for the first degree. Yeah. All right. That's going to be good. I will have a look at it. The Very Large Telescope. Oh, there is one called The Very Large Telescope. Demonic Leprechaun sent me a thing on that from good old Tracation. The Very Large Telescope. World's most advanced visible light astronomical observatory. Very nice. All right. I said, sorry. I got a message from Chaos Ape to read. All right. Oh, I do have a couple of messages here from Rev Rockstar. Says, finally made it to a live stream. Okay, good night. Lol. All right, good night. Omega Red is a new member at Einstein level. Thank you very much for that. Let me find what Chaos Ape has to say here. Joe Whip, I sent you a link. So let's see, what does Chaos Ape have to say? Says, I'm a former flat earther. I want to say that you, Simon, Dan, Professor Dave, and FTFE helped bring me out of the cult. So you guys are making a difference. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for that, Chaos Ape. I really appreciate that. It's good to get that kind of feedback. I really do appreciate it. I get emails and private messages at times from people that say that similar things, or I was leaning that way and now I'm not. So Chaos Ape, that's good to hear. I hope that this new mindset can help you in your life. So it's good. It's good. Mute Ducky, MCToon taking lots of vacations. I do have one coming up for a week again. 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, I'll have Dion Smo. I've already booked it with him. And in September, I have Archimedes Revisited. So he's coming back. Here we go. We've got Joe Whip. Ooh, you're on screen. You good with being on screen? Joe?
Yes.
All right. I'll make sure before I put you on screen. There it is. Well, Joe, you said you lost, was that right? You lost your vision?
I had one cataract in one eye that was so bad I could see nothing but a brown curtain.
Wow.
For several years, and then after I was in Antarctica, the other eye started getting bad. So I had 2 cataract surgeries this year, and I paid a good bit of money out of pocket. They put a lens in each eye that would correct for my stigmatism.
Okay.
So I no longer need glasses.
Well, that's good.
And I've never been able to see this way ever in my life. So when you talk about color, the colors are just, I can't believe how colorful the world is. When you have them for 20 years, you kind of forget,
Yeah, yeah.
and so the eyes were done probably 3 months apart. They don't do two eyes at the same time for obvious reasons. And so the difference in color, like you said, we have a cat, and the cat has a litter box. It has a purple cover on it. And in one eye, it was purple. The other eye was gray. So, it took a while to get used to that. But it's striking. So I get it. When you were talking about it, it struck a nerve with me. And the other thing I didn't realize was how bright the sun is. So first thing I did after I got the second eye done is I got a pair of Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
The sun is really bright. So congratulations on the glasses. Frankly, that should be covered by your insurance. I don't know why it isn't, but
that would be good.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Insurance doesn't cover it at all. Mine doesn't, at least, but we do have like a supplemental vision insurance, but it sucks. I used it once, and then they're like, you just go to a participating, eye doctor, and like, it didn't do anything. It wasn't worth it. So Robert Luscombe was wondering how you got through the military blockade to get to Antarctica.
Very simple. I flew down to Buenos Aires, flew to Ushuaia, and got on a boat.
You took a boat there. How is it just on the coast that you were at?
No, we went all the way to the bottom of the peninsula. So we were basically on the main continent. We were about I think 100 miles from McMurdo, the base.
Okay.
But yeah, it always makes me laugh. I've been on the other side of the peninsula. I've been on both sides. So according to the Flirts, I've been on both sides of the ice wall. So that's I can't wait to go back. That's my first trip. It's going to be 2022? Sometime maybe January of 2023. I want to go back.
Okay. When it's their summer.
Yeah, so that's where you get the 24-hour. Starting in December, you get the 24-hour daylight.
Yeah.
And I had one Flirt tell me that there's a difference between daylight and sunlight, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. So,
they'll do anything to play semantics games.
Yeah, I know. It's well, that guy you had on today, Trey. I mean, oh my God. Well, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you. I mean, I thought you were going to lose it there. You were laughing so hard.
NASA sends protection in the form of a artificially sweetened 80s soda.
Yeah, he's God. He's oh my God. Well, God bless him. I hope his wife stays with him for his sake. But I have some doubts. He may get the CC treatment before too long.
I'd love to see that. Fake tab. That's a real tab. Well, yeah, that's total real. Total real.
I figured you just have a bunch of empty cans, and you fill it with water.
Don't tell the Flurfs.
Oh,
okay. That is what I do.
Don't
tell them. Don't.
It could be worse. It could be worse. You could have some real moonshine in that ball jar there you use with the ice in it. Yeah.
It's Toonshine. Good Toonshine. So all right. Well,
you're my favorite. I always watch your live streams as long as I can. I usually fall asleep on the couch, unfortunately, but tonight I stayed up late.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. We've got a Flurf that's waiting.
Oh, that's okay. I'll be in the chat moderating and timing people out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, 33 poked in for a bit, so
yeah, we took care of him.
Oh, we've got somebody that doesn't look like a Flurf. It's not Keith. So Keith, I'm gonna push you back one. So the Jacob, Jacob, you can rename yourself if you don't want your name shown. So, okay, but you're up next, Jacob. Keith, you'll be coming. But we've got Bonarum Malarum says you should get drunk in a debate once. I think you'd laugh the whole way. I had a bit, and a planar walk was on with me. So you go find that one where planar walk was on with me, and I had a flurf in the debate, and you go find that. All right. I'm gonna Joe. I'm gonna boot you, and I'm gonna bring in Jacob.
All right. I've been booted before. Thanks, Toon.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. There we go. And here comes Jacob. All right. Jacob is in. There it is. Welcome, Jacob. Oh, went away. All right. Somebody's all right. Daniel Meadows says,
Can you hear me?
MCToon. Yes, I can.
All right. Hey, I just wanted to talk. I'm a cartographer.
Ooh.
Wanted to know if there's anything I can contribute kind of intellectually.
Oh, that is good to know. Are you familiar with the field of flat Earth cartography?
I guess a little.
I like whenever you put the words flat Earth in front of a scientific job title, it just gets so funny. Like, you know, the flat Earth
Yeah.
geologists, you know, the ones that spend their time figuring out how the Earth works. There's none of them.
So when I was in college, we actually had a flat earther try to join our program.
Really?
And yeah. And they were in our class for about 4 weeks, and then they just dropped out. Because I mean, it's just so essential to everything we do, you know, understanding that the Earth is a sphere. But
why?
Yeah.
What were they? You think they were trying to like figure out the secrets?
I think so.
So what software do you use? Timbo Turtle's wondering.
I use a mix of a lot of softwares. I use a little bit of GrassGIS sometimes. I use ArcGIS Pro. I use ArcMap. Global Mapper is another one. It's basically just whatever software is going to run the fastest for whatever project I'm doing is what I use.
Okay.
So,
and what does the it look like to do cartography?
a lot of what we do is remote sensing. So I work in an office. The guy sits next to me goes out in the field, and he's our sensor operator. So he flies in the helicopter and runs a laser scanner, and then he'll come back and give me the data. So then I gotta do all the atmospheric corrections and make sure that it lines up with our control run, and then we make a map from that. So
like it's a topographic map.
Usually, yeah.
Kind of
that's the main product where I work. So it'll be, we usually deliver contours that are plus or minus 6 inches. And then we guarantee that the LiDAR point cloud is within, I want to say like 0.2 feet. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Okay. So the helicopter has some sort of a an array of lasers that it's
It's a laser scanner.
scanning all over the place, and of course then the helicopter knows where it is because of GPS or GNSS.
Yep. Yeah. Really cool stuff that we do. I mean, but I always have to like go into detail and describe it whenever I tell people what I do for work.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if I do run into something that might be good, I got your name down here, and if you send me an email, then I'll add it to my notes, and I'll be able to
All right.
connect to you later if I need something. Every once in a while, I come up with an idea for a project, and
I'll say one thing that I did is I projected all the world imagery into that stupid flat Earth projection.
yeah.
Showed them like what a tennis court looks like in Australia. This is when I was arguing with that flat earther in our program, because it just looks like a long strip instead of an actual tennis court.
Yeah,
But-
it like triples the width of things.
Yeah. So I think might be easier to wrap your head around how distorted that is when you see something smaller like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having the whole continent, you could zoom into like a neighborhood and say like, this is not how a neighborhood would look. So
I got Timbo Turtle wants to. So
well, I'll go ahead and get off and let somebody else join.
all right. Well, thank you very much for popping in. If you send me an email, and then I'll be sure to get the
Is that the
question.
Discord? I'm sorry, the LinkedIn email, is it good?
LinkedIn works as well. Yeah, LinkedIn. I have my LinkedIn profile in there. It's just for this. I don't have any of my actual real LinkedIn stuff connected in that. So I don't want the flurfs trolling me in my professional life. That would suck.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to find your email in the description, and it looked like the LinkedIn.
it's MCToon at MCToon.net. So,
Okay. Cool.
there it is. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jacob. We've got ramen noodles, Ortiz in here yapping like he always does. Ramen, you just pop on into the Discord here, or the not the Discord, the chat that has the Zoom link. So all right, I see, and the George set is coming, but we're gonna go Keith. Keith, you're not gonna be in here for a long time, but I'm looking forward to what you think is the flat smack. So Keith Ivan Mitchell is on his way in. He should be all right. Keith, all right, no microphone yet. All right, can you hear me yet, Keith? Ramen noodles. He's claiming gravity hasn't one iota of presence or substance of itself to directly detect, identify, isolate, or harness. Wrong. Wrongity wrong. All right, Keith, are you there?
Right here.
All right, Keith. You promised a flat smack. Bring it.
Oh, man. I'm gonna just joke with you. I see you still in my glass idea already, man.
What?
Still in my sunglasses idea already. Look at you.
Dude, your sunglasses idea were done a long time ago. You've been saying you're going to come on screen for 2 years, but you haven't.
I told you the channel. I told you the channel.
I think you never will.
Oh well, hey.
So,
think what you want.
And
Now you're
flat out here, I'll beat you to it. So did Mark Steele. So I don't know what you.
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind that. That don't matter. I just hit the scene. They were here before me. What can I do about that?
Yep.
Now, I would say you are wrong about the 60 nautical miles when you said, yeah, you're going to need an R for like for the circle, but we're only using like those numbers off of flat for what we know. That's why I always say that. Like we're only using these numbers.
Where did 60 degrees per nautical mile, or 60 nautical miles per degree? Where did that come from?
Well, that comes just
Where's
from that's just
derivation of that? You need R for
Well,
that.
60 nautical miles is only per degree, so that can always change as far as not the nautical mile part, but like let's just say miles. So we know it's about what 1.6 beyond the nautical mile or so, or something like that. It could be more or less than that because the nautical miles is just for the circle. You get what I'm saying or no?
Nope.
Just like when you said the R, like when you brought up what's the R,
Yeah.
the difference of the R is going to change. Is going to change. If you were to use yards for each nautical mile, let me use it that way. If you translated each nautical mile into what it would be in yards, those yards change based off of that R. Still don't get it, huh?
I don't think you get it.
Yeah.
All
Sure.
right, I'll let you know the relationship between nautical miles and yards doesn't change. But I'll
Yeah.
let
No.
you know.
No. It based
Hold
on
on.
the
One
R.
nautical mile is 2,025.4 yards.
Based on your R.
Okay.
So if you had a different R,
Are you saying that
it would change.
because the Earth is an oblate spheroid and it's not the same radius at the equator as it is at the poles that it changes? Well, in that case, then yes, I agree that the Earth is an oblate spheroid and it is slightly different at the poles than it is at the equator. But I don't think that's what you're talking about, is it?
Do you agree that a circle has 360 degrees?
Yeah.
Do you agree that every degree is 60 nautical miles?
Yes.
Okay, so no matter the size of the sphere, every degree is still going to be 60 nautical miles.
No.
Right?
No.
Yes. Regardless of the sphere, a degree is still 60 nautical miles.
Oh, only if
because
you
they chose to make a mile.
I see.
They chose to make a mile based off of the degree.
If you allow yourselves to change the actual length of 60 nautical miles, yes. Okay.
No.
If we were on a different sized globe and started from scratch, then yes.
There you go.
60 nautical miles would be a different length. But we're not. We don't have that as a possibility. We aren't yet on Mars, so we will stick with what we have here. How do you get 60 nautical miles without the radius of the Earth?
I didn't say you could. What I'm saying is that whenever I talk to people about the numbers from, say, the North Pole to the South Pole, I always tell them, look, this is based off of globe numbers from the Eratosthenes experiment. So it could be different.
It's not just based off Eratosthenes. There's a bit
No, not like
a few
that.
more measurements than just that one.
That's not what I'm talking about. But I mean, based off that experiment, that gave us the idea about how big this, if it's a sphere, it gave us the idea of how big the sphere was. And then from there, we were able to, so that means each nautical mile is this length based off of this size. That's what I'm saying. So when we talk about flat Earth, there could still be a difference in that, in what the actual lengths are and things like that. I always try to get people to realize that whenever we're talking about that, but sometimes that's a little too much to wrap around people's head. They don't quite get how it can be different.
Yes. All right. Well.
Yeah. But that's how you can get it. It just depends on what the R is. If it's an R, it might not even be an R.
Well, there is. It's been measured many times to a high degree of precision.
I mean, hey man, this is big space. The Earth is wide. If y'all really feel like you got it just down like that, then you do.
I measured it myself 4 times with my friend Neriel, who may be coming on in a little bit. He said.
Yeah, okay. So. Cool.
All right. Well, I thank you for the flat smack. I think it fell a little flat, but I'm gonna move on. And the George said so. Anything you want to say, Keith, before?
Man, just get ready for the channel, man. You already saw Tony was on your butt up in there. We coming through with it. I know you don't want us to get that channel. I know you think I'm gonna just keep going off.
I hope you do.
Coming around the corner.
I am ready for some new derp. I hope it's a new flavor of derp
from y'all
because all the meme stuff is just old. So, all right.
Yeah. Well. Yep. Well. Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. We'll see. All right. And the George said is coming in. I clicked. All right, and Keith, Keith, you can. All right, he left. All right. And here is Jord.
Can you hear
Welcome.
me?
I can.
Awesome. Hey, Toon. Yeah, it's been a minute. Nice to see you
It
again.
has.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten to talk much. So you were doing a call-in show, and of course, I had to challenge you to a Rubik's Cube race.
Oh, very good. Just a second here. All right. I'll mess mine up here a little more. So, all right, no, that's not. I have to change something here in my stream.
Oh, and I'm also handicapped because I just moved. I had to dig this out. The only one I could find was the one that I messed up to do the colors wrong. So I got to remember that orange is opposite white on this one.
So orange is up instead of white is up. All right. All right. Are you ready?
Yep, on your count.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. I should not talk while doing this because it's a race.
Yeah,
you should
that's
talk.
fine.
You should totally talk.
That's my biggest problem, especially because I like to trash talk. I like to be like, "Ooh, Toon, I'm coming ahead of you," but then the second I do something like that, I'm gonna mess up and come behind. So just keep your mouth shut.
No, keep going.
But yeah, how have you been? I know you've probably addressed it in a couple ways, but like, how's it feel having a channel with 30,000 subscribers?
30.
Is it? I forget. Is that's I think
It's-
Baldy Cats had 30K.
Yeah, it's
and
50.
yeah. Sorry, no. Did
50. It's 58 or 57. I lost a few right away. I figured, I'm not as funny as Baldy Cats or Conspiracy Cats.
See, the cool thing about my subscriber bar is it never really changed. Wow, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got white solved.
What?
Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while. I had to dig this out of the moving box.
All right. Well, there it is. Did
Yeah,
anybody time it? That would have been good. My best is under a minute, but it's been a while. I don't try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glenn Salch, get in here. Glenn Salch.
Can I show one thing real quick?
Sure.
If anybody in the audience is a DM for Dungeons and Dragons, if you know how to be a dungeon/game master, I would really appreciate if you would join my Discord server because we've been trying to get another game going for a very long time, and people just don't have the time. So I dropped the link in the chat. Join if you're interested. I mean, and also we play games in there, and we've got big rooms so you can just sit in and listen to people play D&D if that's your thing. But yeah,
Awesome.
that's all I got.
I see your links in the chat there, people, if you're interested. If you want to be the kids from Stranger Things,
Yeah.
you have been invited.
Or the 70s cartoon, except they don't play the game in the 70s cartoon. They just get on a roller coaster and get transported into fantasy world. But that's my nerdiness for the day. You have a great day, Toon. It was really nice talking to you.
All right. Thank you.
Later
Brenda, get ready. Thanks, Jord. Dim Mac, you're not muted. Behave, Dim Mac. All right, we got Brenda coming. Brenda, if this is the Brenda I know, you're on screen. Are you okay with being on screen? I don't hear you yet. Your microphone is not on, Brenda. All I see is the book. It doesn't look like it connected yet, so work on that. See if you can get that fixed. I don't have you on screen yet. I had you on screen for just a second, but I don't know if you want to be on screen or not. I want to hear confirmation before I put you on screen. And then after Brenda is albino bad guy. Albino bad guy is the next.
Hello?
Hey, Brenda.
Hey,
I hear you now.
there you
All right.
are.
Do you want to
I
be
had
on?
trouble.
Do you want to be on screen?
I have the camera stopped.
Okay.
Is that okay?
It's up to you. Yeah. You
Yeah.
were on
I just
very
prefer-
briefly. We saw the book mostly.
Oh, okay, yeah. Are we there? Are we connected? Going?
We are. People hear you. You live
Oh, okay.
you live in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, right?
I live in the downtown area,
All right.
sort of in a neighborhood. Yeah. So, can we see I have a request. I don't know if you can fill it. Maybe somebody else can.
Okay.
We need to see a lightsaber battle between MCToon Wizard and High Elf Mage Arwen.
Arwen.
Lightsabers only. And maybe Arwen will put a shirt on.
No, we can't. We have to have shirtless Arwen. No, I'm kidding. Please, Arwen,
Yes,
keep your shirt
please
on.
put a shirt on. Please put a shirt on.
That would
Yeah.
be fantastic. If you need me to film myself doing it, just think of the lightsaber guy. What's he
What?
called?
Well, there's that application that'll paste somebody's face in, right? What's
There you
that?
go. Yes, put my face on the lightsaber guy that knocks down everything. Just do that, and
Yeah.
then put Arwen as something else. So
Or he can maybe shoot fireballs or something. I don't know.
there you go.
I
That'd be
bet,
great.
I bet he shoots fireballs. Yeah, I was on with Bev earlier today,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and he was discussing. It was trying. It's very trying. He was discussing a tweet of yours,
Oh, yes. He
Yes.
loves me. He can't get
and
enough.
he was trying to decipher it, and we had a very hard time trying to figure out what was the first premise. That was very difficult, because the first premise was an if-then statement, right? Is if water is flat, then the earth cannot be. If water is flat, then the earth cannot be a globe. Water is, or something like that. How did
It's
it go?
what is that his horizontal paradox,
Yeah.
which isn't a paradox at all.
No, of course not.
Let's see. I'll find it. I'm trying to
But,
get this Lost Book Project agreed to do a debate, but isn't answering.
Yeah. That was a very difficult one because it was they were very insistent that if the if part of the statement was the first premise and the then part was the second part of the second premise.
They don't get the modus tollens, modus
No.
ponens stuff.
No.
For all the times that they use it,
No.
they sure don't understand it.
No.
All right, I'm looking. I think I can find it here. All right, well, so the one I kept sending him was the plane. He talks about a water level. I said the plane established by a water level is an imaginary construct orthogonal to the downward vector at one point. It is not the Earth. So Bev, for all their talk of reification, Bev thinks that if you establish an orthogonal plane, it is the Earth. That is reification. Then I said, for all the talk of reification fallacy from Flurf ilk, you always miss that you do it constantly. So is that the one, or was it a different one?
It was a slightly different one, but that doesn't matter. I can't remember
Yeah,
what
okay.
the exact quote was.
Well,
However, Rumpus came in and he
Oh.
suggested to me that I ask Bev that the datum, elevation datum, if that was level or not. The baseline datum for elevation measurements on Earth.
Yeah, like the official datum from a
Yeah.
survey. Yeah.
I asked Bev if that was a flat straight line, and he said yes. And
Okay.
I told him, therefore, you are a flat earther, because that follows. And he said,
for
no,
the audience,
no.
Bev denies that he's a flat earther.
Yes, but he says that the baseline datum is flat, but he's not a flat earther. It's very trying to talk to him because he's very resistant to anything.
Well, and I have to get over that. I have provided for him my definition of flat earther. So when I say the words flat earther, I mean people that thinks that all horizontals are parallel.
I just kind of realized I'm kind of talking about myself, and I should be saying to you, I really enjoy your programming, the shows that you have. I wish you the best. I haven't spoken to you since you acquired a used channel, apparently.
Yeah, it's
A
slightly
used
used.
channel,
Yeah.
slightly used, but it fits well, I would imagine.
Yes.
Right. So I really enjoy your content, and I really respect you as a debater. I have sometimes less patience than you do. I mean, I don't know. I try.
I think we all have our times, and I've heard you. Brent. For people who don't know, Brenda goes on. You've been on Oakley's.
Years ago, though, but that was forever ago.
Yeah, but when I put together his muting montage, you're in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So anyway, so you've been on there, and there certainly are times that you did not get worked up when I would have. So back
it has been hard road. Self-control. It's not always so easy. You have to do some thinking. You have to do some soul searching. Why am I doing this? What am I doing this for?
Yeah, and for in general, to go on to like Oakley's show, there's no purpose, right? Oakley has. Yeah,
I agree. Nobody should go on Oakley's show. Absolutely not.
If he wants to debate, he should. If he thinks he is the best master debater, he should definitely not be scared. Why would he be scared?
Well, I think that there's kind of a good thing that has come about from us not going on there, which is that they have been going after the Electric Universe people who follow that other
Wheeler, Kent
Wheeler guy, and they have been just lighting into anybody in their community that puts forward ether theories. Oh man, they've been going at they've been eating their own.
I do enjoy watching them eat their own.
And Quantum Eraser was on today, and holy crap, he blew up I mean, I haven't heard. He almost blew out the mic.
At who?
It was like
at another Flurf?
At Brian Leakey.
Really? Oh yeah, they don't like Brian Leak.
Is it Leakey or Leak?
I forgot. I asked him last time he was on. He told me, and now I forgot. I think it's Leakey.
It was. I mean, Quantum Eraser. I mean, really. I thought he blew out the condenser in the mic. Holy mackerel!
He can yell.
He's got some issues there. Anger management issues.
Yes.
I'm taking up a lot of your time, so go on to maybe Clubhouse sometime. I don't know if you can stream Clubhouse though. There's flat earthers there.
Clubhouse is audio only, right?
Yeah. That's I suppose that's the problem.
I
isn't it?
do have a Clubhouse account. I did create one, and FDFE and I, like, we were chatting back and forth,
Yeah.
and we made accounts on there, and like created
Yeah.
like we have no experience on it, so we don't know exactly the best way to do things. We made some, like, a room or something, a club. I don't know, but yeah, I
Well,
haven't logged in
Jamal-
since then.
Yeah, Jamal is on there. I mean, I think you've interacted with Jamal, or maybe Craig has.
Yeah, Jamal, who's on Facebook a lot.
I believe it's the same person. He seemed to know who you were.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, that was not very successful. I tried to talk to him.
Well,
Not
I'm
very
on the we're breaking ground. I'm just a little bit away from being able to do TikTok lives, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen capture of send
Oh.
my phone. You can only, maybe you can. Maybe
I wanted to ask you about TikTok. Is that secure? Because I looked at that and holy crap, I don't know if that TikTok is at all secure.
I
for
would
me to go.
assume it's not. Yeah.
My
Uh,
goodness.
My guess is that the other people cannot get your information, but the owners, the owners of whatever place you're communicating with can get whatever they want from you. But I don't think, to my knowledge, I haven't seen that somebody else on TikTok could get your information. So what about it might be insecure? Well, the people that, the TikTok admins could see what your IP address is. They can see what your credentials are. They can whatever.
I was scared to go on to it because it seemed to me so very insecure, and you know about this stuff.
Yeah, don't put stuff on there that you're unsure about. But it's basically a phone app. The web version is kind of rough.
Mhm.
So yeah, you don't know. It's a black box. You don't know.
Yeah, are Riley and Chemo still up?
I haven't
trolling-
seen them
trolling for
anywhere.
children?
I haven't seen them anywhere. TikTok. So
Trolling for children. Holy crap!
I don't see their, like, if they do, it's not their voice or their face that I've heard. It's memes. Basically, it's so many TikTok flirt accounts are just reposting the same video memes. That's it.
Yeah, there's a whole separate community of both flat earthers and debunkers on TikTok.
Yes. Very little overlap.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Like, so Globy McGlobeface and Julian DeKind are two really good globe proponents on TikTok. So
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up any more time. Congratulations on the color correcting lenses too.
yes, thank you. So
Yeah.
if I do a cold moonlight thing, would you be interested in showing up?
Yeah, I suppose. Sure.
All right.
I have an email address. I'm sure it should be easy to find, right? Bevanawesome@gmail.com.
I'm not going to remember it.
I'll send you an email. I'll
Okay.
send you an email.
All right.
All right.
Good. All right. Albino, you're next. Prepare yourself.
How do I come out of this?
All
there
right,
it is.
Brenda, thank you very much.
All right, bye.
Here comes Albino Bad Guy. All right, let me see here. You're probably seeing, let's see, what do you see? You're just seeing me. All right, that's all. So, all right, Albino Bad Guy is coming. I see microphone, no camera.
Testing, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome. If you're talking, I don't hear you right now.
Hey Mike, how's it going?
All right. Yes, it's great. How are you? If you're listening,
I'm hearing you through my screen, but not through Zoom for some reason.
oh, all right. Yeah, that kind of delay will be a problem.
So I've got a delay.
Yeah. I can faintly hear myself coming back through. So yeah, if you can fix that.
All right, I'll leave then and see if I can get this sorted out. It's my first time on Zoom.
Okay. Well, I'll bring King Ed in the meantime. So, all right, we'll talk to you in a bit, hopefully. King Ed the fifth, King Ed _ V is coming in. And then I see DMOC. DMOC, you goofball. Albino will be ahead of you. So if that works. All right, King Ed, are you there? I see you're getting your microphone working. Nothing yet. Zoom can be tough. It can. If you haven't connected your microphone and speakers before. So. DMOC left. Oh well. Ooh, I hear something from King Ed. So there is a if you do come in, there is a test your microphone thing. So I heard somebody talking. Sir Little Wolf, let me know before you bring on Dimac so I can put on earmuffs. Kidding. Dimac just rambles. It's just.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. King Ed, welcome.
Okay. Does that work?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you listening to me through the YouTube chat?
There we go.
All right.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
My headphones weren't connected properly.
Okay.
But yeah, I was messaging you a little while ago.
On
Which one?
On Discord?
No, it was on one of your videos.
Okay.
I was the one that was talking about the radar with the whole hard horizon thing.
Yes. There's the Shelley Lewis has her series called Flatlanders, and in the second episode it has both Bob Nodell and then a former radar traffic controller both talking about radar horizons and getting things all wrong, but the details on it were actually a little bit difficult to find, like how high are the radar towers at different places, and at what elevation can they actually identify a plane. So I don't know if you know that kind of stuff. Or
Yeah. Most of the radar arrays on the ships I worked on were between 100 and 120 feet off the water.
Yeah. And they always treat it as if it's on the water at zero elevation. They're like, oh, you can't see that far. And then they also assume that the plane is on the ground. So they're like, oh, there's too much. They don't get it.
The thing I try to explain to a lot of the people about that is there's an actual formula to determine the distance of the radar horizon based on the height of the array.
Yeah.
And from personal experience, because I'm a retired APC, I've actually seen vessels and other things beyond my radar horizon because of the fact that the radar doesn't curve the same as optical light does.
Yeah, the refraction is
It's not
different.
affected by refraction as much as optical light. And like I try to tell them, for the simple fact of that alone, because the radar is hitting something.
Yeah, and it's bouncing back. It's curving a bit, not as much as optical light.
Yeah, and on our radar screens, we call that a clutter zone. It's normally between 18 and 22 kilometers from the ship that we have a clutter zone where we can't actually see anything because of the bounce back from the radar,
Okay.
which actually matches the radius of the Earth.
Amazing. When you actually do the math
Yeah.
and actually apply the formula instead of just saying it too far and doing the wrong formula.
Yeah, I've said that. Like, you can literally take the distance that my radar hits the horizon and get the size of the Earth from that distance because of the height of the radar and the distance to the horizon.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking. I'm checking the chat here a little bit, just to be sure. There we go. So, you're retired air traffic controller.
Yes, I am.
And was that was that military?
Yes, I was United States Navy.
Okay. Awesome. And that was on ships.
Yes, I was on the USS Enterprise.
Oh, I do like that one. Were you so you were up in the tower?
Yes, I was ATC on the Enterprise for 2.5 years.
Wow. That's awesome. Did you go south of the equator?
No. When I was on the Enterprise, she was kind of like, we'll call it. We didn't do any actual missions.
Okay.
It was like testing new equipment, testing new radars, stuff like that.
So that was
But like I always,
you kind of chopped out a little bit when you said what they were doing. So why did you not
sorry
go
about
out?
that. Because we were testing new radars, testing new equipment, testing new guns and stuff for the newer ships.
Okay.
The Enterprise at that point in her life was no longer the active ship. There was 10 active fleet carriers, and then there was the Enterprise, who was a backup, basically.
Oh, okay.
I was on towards the end of her lifetime, right before she got decommissioned. But they tested the new Flight 3 radar systems that they're putting on the early bird class destroyers right now, actually.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
And it was fun. I liked it, but I always try to tell people, like, the formula that we used for determining the distance of the radar was 1.22 to 1.35 times the height of the dish in feet squared.
Yeah.
Which is the geometric horizon. 1.22 is the geometric edge of the horizon.
Yeah. But you use a range because refraction exists.
Yes, refraction and the fact that the clutter zone reaches out pretty far, actually. Like the bounce back from even a little further past the horizon will kind of get a clutter and you won't get a clean sight line back from the object.
So you can see that something's probably there, but it's a bit messy.
Yeah, it's kind of more often than not, it's a false return.
Oh, okay.
Because of when they're trying to bounce back. It's pretty weird, actually. Like the further up they go, like our AWACS had a small clutter zone than we had for closer to the surface.
What's AWACS?
I guess it's all about angles. That's our air flight radar. It's big airplanes with the radar dishes on the top of them. You've seen them.
Yes, yeah. The big
that's called AWACS.
Yep.
Yes, that's our AWACS. We always had 2 to 3 of those flying around
I totally knew. I was just saying it for the benefit of the audience. No, I did not know offhand.
It's fine. A lot of people ask me what an AWAC means, but that's pretty much it right there. Like, We had a surface range between 18, like I said, 18 and 24 nautical miles, give or take. Some ships had better range because they had the higher radar arrays like we did. But most destroyers had a range of 12 to 15 kilometers before their surface search radar was gone.
Okay. And so what was the height of the radar?
The radar array on my ship was 120 feet above sea level.
Right. I'm writing it down.
And my
'cause-
station was 100 feet above sea level.
So you were right below the radar.
Yeah, I was in the control tower right there, which was 3 floors above CIC on the ship there.
What's CIC?
Combat Information Center. Like,
Okay.
whenever we would go into battle, I would leave the tower and I would go into that room. So I was protected. My crew that actually watched the other radar screens would stay up in the tower. And they would relay me information to the people running the ship while it's in battle, pretty much.
That's cool. All right. Well,
It was interesting.
I'm gonna have to move on. I got a couple other people. We got albino coming up, but King Ed, thank you for that. I took some notes here, and
Thank you.
if I ever need to question somebody that was ATC on a Navy ship, I'm contacting you.
I'll look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right, albino. See if you
All
can
right,
get-
testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Oh, it's great.
I, for one, don't often get an opportunity to speak to somebody who actually knows who Vera Rubin is. So I thought I'd chime in.
Oh, yes, I keep her paper in the drawer here. Let me see if I
I
can
know you always have it handy there.
dig it out. Yeah.
But I'm not a flurf, as you may have guessed. It is albino bad guy, by the way. I'm not a bean burrito.
Somebody was asking what color your hair was.
I'm not actually albino. The name comes from, well, we just noticed since I was young, albinos in movies seem to be always portrayed as a bad guy. And they're often misunderstood. And I felt like that. But anyway, I just wanted to say, as someone who's not a flurf, I'm also not college educated, really. I always loved science and self-taught for the most part. And really love watching you and Craig and Simon Dan, all those guys. You all do such a good job. I learned so much from watching that stuff. And of course, real Science Channel stuff, actual lectures, Brian Greene, Brian Cox, all those professors.
Fermilab. I love Fermilab.
I do. I had a nice chat with PhD Tony one day over Discord.
Yeah.
And we spoke about some of Vera's work. I question that they're looking for dark matter in the wrong place.
They could be. I have right here, if you're looking at your screen, I have Vera's paper right there. So
yeah, I know you always keep it handy to show somebody what an actual science peer-reviewed.
It sorts itself to the top of the stack. So yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, so as someone who's not specifically college educated, but love following everything, I think you do a lot of good. Especially, I commented the other day on your chat with what was it, the Lion's Den?
Yes.
I think you did some good. I think you said did some good there. You turned some heads, raised some eyebrows that may have been going down the conspiracy theory path. May have at least put some questions in their mind at the very least. And
Yeah,
I hope
thanks
you
for
do that. I hope you do that. In a lot of different places. So.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah.
Tim Magdalene, by the way, is another professor. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Maudlin, I think, has a lot of interesting things on time and how we use the wrong math to calculate time. In fact, our mathematics don't actually have a time calculation built into them. And he thinks if we can rewrite the way we use our mathematics to include the flow of time,
Yeah.
that may solve a lot of problems. It's really interesting stuff. He's got some
Oh.
YouTube lectures out there if you're interested.
Tim.
I think it's Mudlin, Maldulin.
All right, let's see here. Maudlin. Yes, there it is. All right, I found him. I'll look him up.
Yeah, it's got a lot of interesting stuff, quantum theories, and I'm particularly interested in the stuff he talks about how the rewriting math to include a flow of time. And I think that would lead us in the direction of dark matter. That's my belief anyway, but that's just from me watching YouTube videos, but you know, actual lectures on YouTube.
There are many good lectures on YouTube. Anytime I'm working around the house, I try to find a lecture on physics.
It makes for good background noise while doing other things, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, anything else?
No, I didn't have a particular subject to chat in. I just wanted to say hey and make sure you get my name right from now on.
Albino bad guy. Yeah. Like from Angels and Demons. And I mentioned something about in a video.
That's my icon on Discord.
Oh yeah. I mentioned something about
you had an albino ferret one day in there.
Yes, we do have an albino. My son does. An albino ferret.
Oh, you still have it? I thought it was I thought you were just sitting.
We were ferret sitting. So yeah, it's at his house. But no, I said something in a video that somebody will have to do corporal mortification because of Oakley. A whole bunch. Well, they're gonna have to say 100 Hail Oakleys, do something else, and do some corporal mortification. And so that makes me think of the albino from. Is it the albino from Angels and Demons?
Or the first one, Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code. Yes.
Anyway, if you do happen to run out of flat Earth stuff for some whatever reason, I hope you keep doing something on YouTube. You're an excellent educator. Keep up the good work that way, and I hope you pursue that and maybe broaden your horizons and do other educational videos.
Yeah, if all the flurfs go away tomorrow, there is no shortage of things that to cover. So
yeah, plenty of tinfoil people out there, tinfoil hats.
There's plenty. So
all right, I'll let you get to the next one. Thanks so much, Mike. Thanks for taking my my call and bearing with me while I sorted my mic issues. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, QC is coming up here. QUEUECEE is the next one. So as QC gets that going, and then with Neriel is talking, and we've got Matt is coming, and then Neriel. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Hey, nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
So,
is QC,
so,
is that right?
Yep, QC is fine.
All right.
It's just my initials. So I had just gotten into the whole flat Earth thing just like a few months ago, and then I caught your episode with Ruhif and John, and it just like got me really into this whole flat Earth thing when I watched that. What I was like, and I had made a comment about this, but when I kind of saw what Ruhif was showing in terms of like celestial navigation, I kind of realized it's an analog of the Eratosthenes, his experiment, right? It was just kind of, he was finding the circumference, but with the celestial navigation, you already know the circumference, so you're finding the distance, right? It's just a different variable.
Yeah. Do you mean the Eratosthenes?
Yeah, Eratosthenes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So with the whole John thing, it seemed like, and also I kind of, that led me into Nathan Oakley and his channel. And I got banned pretty quickly there when I started kind of posting challenging messages. I was like going, why isn't like anyone seeing my comments? And then I realized he had
Oh,
shadow banned
in the
me,
live
or
chat or
yeah,
in
in the
the
YouTube chats. YouTube
okay.
chats. Yeah, in the comments, YouTube comments. Not I haven't like gotten like into like the Discord and all that. So, but I got banned pretty quickly. But when Ruhif was showing the celestial navigation, I feel like Nathan and all those guys are kind of zeroing in on this like angle validation thing. And you don't even need to get to that to kind of break flat Earth for celestial navigation, because with flat Earth, you can't even get the GP of any star, and you don't need the angle of elevation to get a GP, right? You just need to know the time when you're going to, and the star that's in question. So on a flat Earth, you can't get the GP at all because you don't have a flat Earth almanac that tells you, all these like, GHA and SHA.
There's a problem
And
with that,
also,
yeah.
yeah, and when Ruhif started his presentation, he started off by demonstrating the sidereal day, right? And the
Yeah.
sidereal hour adjustment. You can't have that in a flat Earth, so it just like stops right there. And I just feel like, I don't know if it was him kind of steering it, but it just seems like, a lot of times the discussion gets stuck in this whole angle of elevation, flat plane on a curved surface and all that. It's like, forget that. Tell me how to get a GP of a star on your flat Earth, and it should just stop there.
Yeah, because in order to do that, you have to do what Flatzoid has done, and Flatzoid has been very naughty. Flatzoid has actually attempted to do triangulation, giving the actual elevation of the star, which Nathan Oakley, and that's very naughty. They're not supposed to do that, because then you fix the height of the stars, and it doesn't work. He knows it doesn't work.
Well, that's why the celestial navigation is an analog of the Eratosthenes experiment, because with the Eratosthenes experiment, you could start with the assumption that the Earth is flat, right? And then so the measurements that you're doing, what you're getting isn't the circumference, but what you're getting is the height of the sun, right? The problem with that is, if you do that, if you make that assumption, you can get the height, but that height depends on the latitude where you're doing the adjustment, right? So you can't get a fixed height of whatever celestial object you're measuring, because we're not on a flat Earth. If we were on a flat Earth, you would, right? So
Yeah,
the guy that
you'd
you were
know
mentioning,
how high it was.
right?
You
Right.
have to know
would,
how high it was.
You would have to, right? So for celestial navigation to work, you would have to know the height of the star. However, because we're not on a flat Earth, that height is going to vary depending on your latitude. So he could have kind of jiggered it so that it works if you are at a certain latitude, right? But if you kind of use the same method and the same set of whatever data that he has, it wouldn't work on a different latitude. I mean, I guarantee he's not going to get a consistent measurements using his method, because obviously the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, they none of their stuff works. I don't know if you've seen Flatzoid's, like, it was earlier today or yesterday's video. It's a mess, an absolute mess. And it.
Yeah, I haven't
time
seen it, but
they say 60 nautical miles per degree, like that relies on one particular thing. It relies on the surface being spherical.
Yep.
They don't get it.
I said that's what I don't get. I don't know if they really don't get it, really don't understand it.
They don't understand geometry. They don't.
I don't. It's just, and maybe it's just kind of intellectual dishonesty, right? Where they aren't even trying to work. So if you start with the assumption that it's a flat Earth and you try to fit everything into it, then you don't see it, right? You don't see exactly how it works.
They start with the conclusion.
Feel like, yeah, it's that, or they are just they're just kind of scamming, right? And I don't know for sure which it is.
Some of the ones that make money from it have been people have asserted or accused that they are just doing it for money. Nathan Oakley is one that gets that accusation a lot. Jaronism does too. They could, because both of them, that is their career. It's their main source of income. So they can't change their mind, because then they're instantly unemployed.
Yeah, well, all I can say is before I started watching you guys, I had no idea how celestial navigation works.
Yeah.
But when I kind of walked through it and I looked at Ruhif's example, he had a really great instructional video on this. I looked through it and I went through the steps, and I was able to figure it out. It feels to me like these guys, I'm sure not all of them are stupid. I'm sure, some of them are smart enough where they.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, but it seems like at least someone there could have taken it through the steps and come to the same conclusions that I did, and realize that it doesn't work unless it's a globe.
Well, 10th Man bought a whole bunch of books on celestial navigation, and never once, to my knowledge, has actually worked an example on the video.
Well, I mean, when John just stops and says, "Hey, you've done it based on flat Earth models, so I don't need to do anything," that's so much laziness. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. And people said he should have gone first, but you know what would have happened if he would have gone first? That it would have been over quickly. It would have been an argument. He would have left, and then what? We don't, we could have played Ruhif's video, but then it was kind of like post-climactic, right?
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know if this is something you can do, but kind of grab one of these guys and have them walk through just getting the GP of a star. Just that very simple step. Show me how you do that. Here is how we do it on a globe Earth. How do you do it? And it sounds like that other guy you mentioned, maybe he was trying to do
Flatzoid
that.
has. But he used 60 nautical miles per degree, which is based on a globe. They can't show the derivation of that. They just use that number as a constant, but you ask them, where did you get that? They say, well, that's the distance. That's it. It's just circular. It's a very tiny circle, actually.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Even if you get the triangulation, you can't get the distance. Even if you get the GP, you can't get the distance of where you are from that GP, unless you assume a certain radius of a globe.
Yeah, it's 360 times 60 nautical miles is the radius.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is a globe. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say. I just feel like that whole elevation plane and measuring the angle is such a red herring. It's such a red herring.
Yeah. Nathan needs it though. It's his career. So, well, yep. QC, thank you for stopping by.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, good to have you. All right, we've got Matt coming up next, but I'm going to read. I got 2 super chats. I'm going to read first while Matt is getting connected. We've got from Digital Demonic Davros for 5 Australian. Again, man, 2 weeks in a row. He comes back from the Netherlands. Says, hey, Mr. T. That's me. I'm Mr. T. I pity the fool that doesn't know that I'm Mr. T. Dan the Waterman has been promoting episode 2 of Flatlanders like a grifter in Gem's Discord. Everyone is grilling the test they did. The test they did a test in episode 1, which was yet another laser over water at night when refraction is maximized, and claim that refraction didn't happen. Same thing that they in cold temperatures too. So same thing they always do. In Flatlanders 2, they just interviewed Super Noodle Doodle, and the air traffic controller was the former air traffic controller was the main thing that they talked about. I just watched it yesterday, actually. I'm thinking about doing a video response to it, and the title I'm thinking of is Sophisticated Deception. Let me know what you think.
It's a good working title.
Yes. All right, Matt. Welcome, Matt. Oh, I have one more thing to read here from Mr. QTube, first name Fa. Says, fun fact, the tinfoil hat acts as an antenna, so they can reprogram your mind. It tunes into the 5G signals. Don't tell them that. We want them wearing the 5G tinfoil hat so that they can... Never mind.
I mean, why did we spend all this time developing 5G to specifically target tinfoil hats if we're just going to blow the cover on it?
Kidding.
Right away.
Don't mention it. Welcome, Matt. Glad to have you.
Thanks, MC. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, I'm excited because one, I watched a significant amount of your content, your second screen material all day at work.
It's weird to me. It's just all right.
I mean, the backlog of your content is 3 years deep at this point, and YouTube will throw up. It's like, oh, you watched 3 hours? Here's 3 more. I'm like, all right. I'm just making emails. So
this is live stream number 317.
Ooh, that's a good amount. I wanted to say I fell into all of this stuff because I moderate a Bible forum online, and there's probably, I don't know, 70 some odd thousand people on there, so not insignificant number. And we would get the flurfs coming in, and with the biblical cosmology stuff, and I would see it, and I'm like, I think I remember some flat Earth Society thing from like a decade ago, and the Simon Dan stuff starts getting recommended to me, and then years later your channel crops up. And I think the thing that the flurfs always say is that all this stuff should make sense to the average Joe. And I'm always thinking to myself, I'm a pretty average Joe. I'm just some random dude who works in marketing, have a wife and a kid. I don't do anything spectacular. But I watch MCToon's videos, I watch Simon Dan's videos. All this stuff makes sense to the average Joe. So I think it's a sub-average Joe.
It could be.
It needs to be for flurfs. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for making stuff that like the actual average Joe can understand. Like, you have to put your thinking cap on when some of the equations come up. Not the visual equations. Yeah.
There you go.
That's the one.
It's not even that hard. I gave it to him. It's already there. The poor guy.
Oh,
in case you missed it, I only filled in this side for Trey Hutchinson, Trey Cation. This is Snell's Law. I said, what's Snell's Law? He said, that's not Snell's Law.
No, Snell's Law is just a visual equation, which the kicker to that whole thing to me, by the way, is that they're always asking for proof. Yeah. Science doesn't prove, but math proves. You can have mathematical proofs, but those mathematical proofs, he doesn't like them.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, mathematical proofs don't bridge into reality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they think it does. If you're familiar with Oakley, and they have this whole modus tollens, modus ponens thing where they're like, if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the essence of an experiment. And they don't think that's an experiment. That truly is an experiment. And they use it, but refuse to acknowledge that is actually what is science. That's actually how you formulate a pure, in actual function. People don't necessarily have such a pure following of how it's done, but that's the essence of an experiment, how you construct a hypothesis. And they're like, no, That's not it. They think that it proves, and they actually reverse it, and they use the fallacy version of it, and they think that fallacy version of it is science.
Yep.
For reference, the fallacy version is if P then Q, Q therefore P, and that's affirming the consequent, and that is what they think science is.
Yep. So that was it. Just wanted to say thanks for making this stuff accessible, because I've learned a significant amount about the globe, and like, I believe the Earth is a globe, which is a weird thing to say that you believe when it's just a fact. But
yeah.
I didn't know a significant amount of like the evidence for it, other than just being told it's a globe and being like, yeah, that makes sense. You show me pictures. I'm into that. But I understand a lot more about the world around me for having gone through, your backlog of content and the other globe defenders out there. I don't know.
Debunkers.
Titles are weird.
I don't know. Yeah.
So thanks for all that. It's appreciated.
Right. Well, thank you. All right. Matt, thanks for coming by. We've got Round Thinker coming in. He was driving and is no longer driving. He's not a flirt. We've got 2D Res Q, who's been a member for 5 months, says bacteria grasps gravity better than flurfs. Very true. Welcome, Round Thinker. You got your mic working? It's in progress. I hear some stuff. I hear some stuff coming all the way from Israel. Must be early morning. Anything yet? Anything? Wow, we've got anti Atari Farian said I hate, hold on a second, I hate all you little MCToon minions, and I'll see you all in hell. Well, I don't know if that's really it. All right, we've got even on screen, we've got Round Thinker. Welcome, Round Thinker. I can't hear you yet. Your microphone's not going. Something's not working, but we can see you. Eddie Reese says free super chat. Lake Titicaca. To Microraptor, does a round thinker only think in circles? So only circular reasoning? No. I think it's no. I still don't hear you. Gotta figure out how to. He's not a flurf, people. Don't worry, he's not a flurf.
Now?
There we go. I hear you now.
Okay, fine. So how are you, Sam?
I'm good.
First, I want to say thank you for all the content you make, like rest of the guys here.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
I mean, your content is by far the best of all the debunker community. I like your content.
I disagree. It's conspiracy cats. Absolutely.
I need to listen to him more.
He's moved on from the flat earth stuff. He's on culture.
I know.
Culture cats. It's good.
Gave you his channel. I know.
It is good stuff. But yeah, his back catalog is good.
I know. I need to listen to him more.
Omega Red says, are my eyes tripping? He looks like GTA. Grand Theft Auto. I think it's because you have the background.
I know. I blurred
out. Yeah.
This is.
He's on the secret NASA moon base, people.
This is my coffee machine.
Yeah.
And this is the screen, a monitor, and that's a microwave under the coffee machine.
All right. Where the and microwaves are made of what? What particle?
I don't remember.
What particle microwaves are?
Microwave. It's the frequency. I don't remember the name of that frequency.
I have this power with people. Photons.
No.
What? All right. What are gamma rays made out of?
Gamma rays. Photons.
Good. What are X-rays made out of?
Same.
Good. What's visible light made out of?
Same.
All right. I had Trey. You were sleeping. It was the middle of the night for you. But Trey Hutchinson, he could not answer any of those, and I gave him the answer. And I went to the next one, and he still didn't know.
You got me confused with the gamma rays. I didn't remember what are gamma, beta, and alpha. So that got me a little bit.
So, all right, let's talk about the Eratosthenes experiment that you did.
First of all, I want to say that I'm doing another one in this upcoming autumnal equinox. After a few flurs. Yeah, exactly. In about a month and 6 days from now.
Yep.
The 23rd of September.
So now we did it 2 years ago. We did all 4
during the whole year. Yes.
Yeah, and I missed the March one. So the first one was December of 2019, and then March of 2020 I missed because it was cloudy.
Yes, it was cloudy here also.
And then I got June and September, and then the next March I came back and filled in the gap. So we have 4 spreadsheets right now with measurements of the sun angle on the equinoxes and solstices from different latitudes.
Yes, and we're not the only 2 that did it. There are some Hitchell did it, and some more people did it with us.
So we're looking for more. It's always good to get more information. So you're doing it again in September. So if anybody's interested in participating, I'll be sure to before.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to the Google form.
Okay.
If you want, and you can share it with whoever you want.
Excellent. So you get a stick, you measure the height of the stick, and then at local solar noon on the day of the equinox or solstice, whichever one you're doing, you measure the length of the shadow. So you need the shadow length and the stick length. That's about it.
And the 90 degrees. That's it. 2 sides, 1 angle. The rest is pure math.
Yep. So, anyway, and I do want to talk to you about. We'll do it off here about a little improvement we can do to that to make it a little more of a bundle. So.
Okay, I'm always willing to listen.
So it just combining all of the measurements together into one spreadsheet and including refraction. And refraction actually doesn't make enough of a difference to matter in this because the margin of error of your measurement of the shadow length is larger than the amount of modification that the refraction does. But the flat earthers, their first thing is always, well, you didn't include refraction.
I got some of them that said to me you didn't include elevation.
And maybe we can do something on elevation because that won't make a difference either. But we certainly
about 0.000000000 of 1 degree.
It's too far. So, but yes, that would be if we did both of those, then I mean, you know what? I love to do this. I set them up to move the goalposts. And then they move the goalposts, and I'm ready for them. I love that. I love doing that. Because once they move the goalposts a couple times, and I've got them every time, then they run out of goalpost moves to do, and then they have to change the topic. There you
For
go.
the
Glenn
block.
Glenn
It's-
Salch
I-
says
it-
we say perspective, MCToon. You didn't include perspective. Actually, we are calculating perspective. You don't, Glenn Salch and other flat earthers, you don't even know what perspective is. How do you include perspective in the calculation? What is missing? You tell me. They never have an answer. But you tell me what's wrong, what the error is in the calculation and how to fix it. You can't. You don't know. It's just a magic word.
It doesn't matter. You didn't include perspective, so your
It's a-
calculation is wrong.
It's
That's
a
it.
get out of jail free card for them.
You didn't include whatever. Just pick one.
Yep. And then it's well, how do I know that you didn't videotape the whole thing, and you didn't have somebody there watching you to make sure that it wasn't, and then you didn't live stream it, and then
You know, at the first one at September to almost 3 years ago, I did the whole thing inside my house. Like I had the shadow from the window
yeah, well that was December,
falling on the
right?
stick. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it
And
was
I-
snowing outside there.
In Israel, no.
Does it ever snow?
Yes, actually,
Really?
at that year, 1 month later, it was snow. The snow came here late, like during the most coldest day in the year.
Yeah. In
It's not
January,
December.
February.
It's late January.
Yeah. So, all right. So here's a question. I don't see this very often because flat earthers, they know that it's
wait a minute.
Okay.
I did the entire thing inside my house
Oh,
to
yes.
ensure my floor is completely horizontal. So I did inside my house, and one friend told me you did it inside your house.
so what?
So it doesn't mean anything, and you can't derive any conclusions from that because it was a reflection from your window, the glass of your window. So, like,
Oh, and,
really?
and how much did it change? Go ahead, show the analysis. Oh, it's precious when they try.
it's in Hebrew, so you won't understand it, but I have it. I can show it to everyone.
Okay, so here, if you're ready for a topic change.
Yes.
So
now,
the religiflurfs, on occasion, not too often, but on occasion, try to prove that the earth is flat because in the Bible, the devil brought Jesus up to the top of a mountain. This was in Israel, and they could see the entire world. What mountain can see the entire world in Israel?
the highest mount in Israel is Mount Hermon, and it's about 2 kilometers above the sea level, about 2.2.
Okay. I don't think that's quite high enough.
It's not high enough.
No, okay. So
Definitely not high
there
enough.
must have used to be a much taller mountain. Did somebody take down this extremely tall mountain in Israel when we weren't looking?
It appears that the devil took it after he showed Jesus the entire earth.
Oh, perhaps he installed it temporarily and then removed it right away.
That's possible.
Tomato Priestess Zumi says, do they understand allegory? No, they don't understand allegory.
No.
They don't understand
You know
metaphor.
what? Actually, about 3 years ago, I had a conversation with Nathan Thompson, and he told me that in the book of Daniel, there is a tree that you can see the entire earth from the tree. The point is that the tree is in the dream of Daniel.
It's in a
And
dream.
he missed that completely. I told him, look, 3 verses up. 3 verses.
Oh. One of the first flirfs I debated was why you are an idiot, or just call him by his surname,
Mr. Idiot.
Mr. Idiot. He was the first flurf I debated. And
It
he
was
actually that's
coffee with flat earthers.
no, that
Something
wasn't.
like-
I wasn't debating the Coffee with series. Wasn't debates. It was actually hosted on a political talk channel on YouTube.
I need to see it again.
Called the Open House. It's on my channel. It's one of the earliest
I know.
videos. Yeah.
I need to see it again.
So anyway, Mr. Idiot claimed the same thing about the tree Yggdrasil. And I'm like, that's in a dream. Doesn't matter. Like, really? Aw. All right, we've got a couple flirfs in chat. I keep posting the link and they just don't come in. Let's see, is Glenn Salch still here? All convex lenses pull light to their center focal point within their focal length, but Glenn Salch,
Titicaca.
camera obscuras do the same thing. You don't need a lens. Camera obscura is a pinhole camera. It does the same thing. So desperate. Quantum Degreaser, a fantastic flurf who's I think a desires to be an attendee at the Flat Earth Community University, says MCToon, make farther things smaller. Too easy. That's perspective. But
I want to say a tribute to a good friend of mine who is in the chat, Ella Chartier.
Who's that?
Ella Chartier. She's in the chat. She's a good friend of mine. She's an Israeli astronomer.
Oh.
I send you one of her videos.
Oh yeah. There. Oh, there. I see the something in Hebrew there.
Yeah, that's her.
All right. Well, welcome. There's bots that come in and post links to sites that you don't need to go to, people. But they get held because it's a link. And so people said, poor bots. Sir Little Wolf said, poor bots need love too. I don't know how it can work. I suppose it does for if you don't have the kind of the recommended settings on for YouTube where it holds links. Because I see, especially in Flurf channels, I see on occasion a spam link in a Flurf comment that makes it published. If it's on a Flurf channel, I always give it a thumbs up. Oh, and if you do this, give on Flurf channels, give those the spam people a thumbs up so it sorts to the top. Oh. Anyway,
I just want to say that religious folks have special issues with me because I counter all of their idiot claims.
yeah, you read in Hebrew as your first language.
Yes. I posted another one on my Facebook page a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some.
I'll send you a link in private.
Get some angry religious flurfs.
Yes, it's about that topic exactly.
I'm working on, and I've been working on it for 3.5 years. But there's a Satanaflurf leader and a collection of Satanaflurfs that follow this leader. And that would be a guy that thinks that he's Satan. And is a flat earther.
I always say to them that Satan doesn't exist.
To who?
To the religious groups.
Oh.
That you all globe Satanists. Oh. No, Satan doesn't exist. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah, by their ridiculous standard of evidence. Yeah. The elephant in the room says, "Hey, MCToon, I'm not a flurf, but would love to talk to you about my satellite observations. Don't know if you could use it, but could be interesting." Well, today is your lucky day, and I have, if you want to, you can come in right now. Otherwise, if you want to send me a message privately, the description of this video has links.
Okay, so we'll stop here.
Well, I don't have anybody ready to go yet, so we can talk a little more. I think
so. We can talk a little more.
Yes. I think I would love to see a lot of people get some measurements.
I would like that too. That's the reason I'm doing it again.
So, all right, I'll promote it. I'll if we can get something to put onto the Conspiracy Toons channel also, that would be, I think I'll make a video promoting it there.
I'll write the description and send you the link to the Google form, and you can do it whatever you want.
Yeah, I probably have I think I have the old one, and I have pictures that I'll put together a video for it to promote it. So, and I'll make it generic so I can repost it every 3 months.
I still have them on my channel, the original ones from 2.5 years ago, on my Google Drive.
All right, Google never forgets. The internet never forgets.
Yeah.
All right, I have Draco Thubin is queued up, so
okay,
we're gonna move on. Thank you very much for stopping by.
It was a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you later. All right, we've got Draco Thubin is working on connecting. Yeah, those are names of stars.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I think my webcam's not plugged in. So
yes, I do not see. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was actually elephant in the room on the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you mind if I share my screen real quick?
Go ahead. I'll let's see. I'll get this ready to go.
Yeah, I've been interested in the flat Earth stuff for a while, and I did my own. So I was in the Army for 20 years. I was a signal guy, and I worked with satellites and stuff like that throughout the time. And one of the things I noticed was that if I were to take measurements from where I was able to do direct connections to satellites, because we generally use the same satellites stateside, we should be able to triangulate positions if the Earth was flat.
Yes.
But if not, then it should fall apart. And I still can't share my screen.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. The default setting is to not allow it. So
absolutely.
Right, there you go.
I definitely understand that. And so this is what I have here. And this is my observation using AMC-21 as the direct connection satellite.
What is AMC-21?
So AMC-21 is one of the civilian satellites that is a direct connect satellite, which is an internet satellite, among other things. And so we can use that as long as we have a contract with that company to connect to that satellite and have internet access and basically communicate across the battlefield, as it were, to anybody that we want to. And so these 2 points here, A and B, are the 2 different points that I know I've connected to this satellite from. One is in Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington.
Yep.
And B is in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And so using those 2 points and this information up here, my latitude, longitude, elevation, and azimuth, I basically built this around using trigonometry and all the different stuff to figure out all the different things. And it ends up being these 2 triangles, which measure significantly different heights to what would be the satellite or balloon or whatever it is that we're connecting to.
Yeah.
if it was a flat Earth. So
Are these
all
are these geostationary satellites?
yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one geostationary satellite, and it's just one of the many that I've connected to, but this is one that I know of for sure. And one of the cool things about these satellites is when you connect to them, you get a waveform initially, which is their broadcast signal, which identifies them exclusively to that satellite, and they all look different. So whenever you connect to one of these satellites, you can tell which one you're connecting to based on the waveform. And so when you connect to them like this, you can see that given a flat Earth, this is all given a flat Earth, and this is the North Pole up here. This is my one point, this is my other point, and everything else is just constructed around that.
Yeah.
And so we would see
it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. You can do the same with the sun or the moon or the stars, and flat earthers, they're not perturbed by everything failing.
Granted, that was one of the first things I did was actually I was looking at the sun and going what was it? Orphan Red. Orphan Red did a video a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And basically doing doing trigonometry with the sun and determining that it was 3,000 some odd meters above the Earth or whatever. And so I took that and I went, okay, if it's that high, how far away would it have to be for us to not be able to see it? And I actually took it into and I did I might have the PowerPoint somewhere still, but I looked at the actual lumens of what a human can see and what lumens the sun puts out, and determined how far away it would have to be before we couldn't see it anymore.
Oh yeah.
And what angle it would have to be, and determined that even if we were at one side of the disk and the sun was at the other side of the disk, we should still see it. The light should be about what would be in a warehouse, like warehouse lighting.
Yeah.
But we should still be able to see it. And I had the angle measurement up to where it should be at that point. And it was definitely, it was above any mountain range that could possibly exist.
Yeah. I did the minimum sun angle elevation for the lowest that it could ever be, which would be on the December this December solstice from the southern tip of South America in the middle of the night. So that's when the sun is the farthest away, because it's at the Tropic of Capricorn, and it's on the total opposite side of the southern tip of South America. It would be 9.5 degrees angular elevation. Like you said, definitely higher than anything, unless you're very close to, a tree or a building or something. So
yeah, it was kind of funny too, because I started doing some other calculations. I started messing with the Arctic Circle and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden I realized, I was like, wait a minute, at the equator on the solstice, if I'm looking due east, the sun shouldn't be there on the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Like it should
again,
be.
They're unperturbed by the failures of their model.
Just doesn't work.
Oh.
It's always fun watching this stuff, because it's like, how many things can you get wrong in the span of 5 minutes?
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, this was mine, and I didn't know if you wanted me to, I could send this to you in some kind of paragraph or two, and how I constructed it. It's been a while, like it's been a long time since I did this, but I could redo it and do it in like a PowerPoint presentation or something. But I don't know if it'd be useful at all.
Well, if it would, if you see, if you look at my website, MCToon.net,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's see, Sunset for Flat Earth. I have two or three like sub pages from there. If you look at that type of thing, if you wanted to put that together in a couple slides, I'd put it on the site there.
Okay.
I'd love to.
Fan-
Yeah. Make them
fantastic.
I like to use them for videos. So if you make it 1080p big, just
Okay.
to 3, 4, 5 static screens, and that's all you need. I'd love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. And we've got Frank Burns coming up. So Dranko Thubin, thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right. And all right, Frank Burns. Frank Burns is the one that wanted to come in here the most. So, oh, where'd you go, man? He left. He was here. Now he's gone. All right, Glenn Selch. What are you doing, Glenn? Come on. You got the link. Just come on up and I mean, you can share your super woke information. Yeah, you're right. Here's your chance to flat smack me, Glenn Selch. But all right, where'd he go? All right, Professor Phil Bell. All right. You know, he sent me a basic geometry thing from Phil Bell. It's seriously, middle school is actually being a little generous. The geometry that you learn in elementary school is enough to know that the sun could never set. Right? You might not be able to do the trigonometry, but you can draw the flat earth, and then you can draw to scale the distance of the sun in elevation and how far away. And you could know it could never set. It's that simple, and Flurfs can't even get that simple thing. At what angle will the sun appear to set when it goes there? Like, it's perspective. Exactly. Perspective is solving triangles. Oh, wait. Flurfs can't solve triangles. And that's the key. Solving a triangle, you don't actually need to put sine, cosine, tangent into your calculator. You can just use an online triangle calculator, or just draw piece of paper. Right. All right. I'm waiting on Frank Burns, or maybe Glenn Selch, but I'll show you. Here it is. There it is. You just it's really simple, flat earthers. Really simple. There's your flat earth. There's your observer. Right? There's the sun with a couple lines drawn on it. And there's the angle, right? You notice there's no trigonometry happening, flat earthers. None. Dim Mac, no trigonometry. All I did was draw. We're going to call this theta, right? I hope you can handle that I'm using a Greek letter there, right? But if you're confused by that, just use T, all right? How far away does the sun need to be so that this is a negative number? How far does this need to be so that it goes under? If it's the same height, how far does it need to be before this angle goes negative? That's all you need to answer, flat earthers. It's that simple. That's all it takes. And you're not smart enough. Third grade. You can't handle third grade, flat earthers. It's not hard. And you can't figure it out. So, and also perspective, your favorite word, things get smaller as they move away. Why doesn't the sun get smaller? Oh, you do video of glare. Okay. Why doesn't the moon get smaller throughout the night, right? When the moon is at its highest point, it's closest to you. And then just before set, or just after moonrise, it should, for flat Earth, it should be significantly smaller. It actually should never set. You should always be able to see it. But it doesn't change size like that. Flat Earthers, perspective destroys flat Earth. It's that simple. Children understand that when something's farther away, they get smaller. All right. Yeah. Aaron Reese, have any of them tried to say there is a limit on the travel distance of light? Yes. Yes, they can, but it doesn't work well. They're like, oh, light extinction. That's actually Austin Whitsitt says light extinction. Okay, light extinction of the sun. Well, the sun, Austin, is it brighter or dimmer than the stars? Well, of course, it's brighter than the stars. Okay. Well, then why is it that after the sun has set, you can see the stars immediately above the horizon? They're dimmer than the sun and farther away because you think they're in the dome, yet you can see them and not the significantly brighter sun. Why? Light extinction doesn't do it for you there. All right. Glenn Salch. Now, they deflect. I'm going to read what he says. I bet it's a deflection. Rotation on a globe would cause a change in distance as well, MCToon. Indeed it does. You need the same atmospheric lensing as flat Earth. No, we don't, Glenn. Because it's far away, the angular size change is trivially small. Because it's farther away. But the moon is close enough that we do see its size vary between apogee and perigee. You also see it slightly throughout the night, but not by much. Apogee and perigee is significantly larger, but it's measurable. It's not nearly the same as what it would have to be for flat Earth. And atmospheric lensing isn't a thing that you think it is. Atmospheric lensing is a horizontal layer that causes compression as things get close to the horizon. It compresses elsewhere too, but it's most dramatic at the horizon. It doesn't make everything look bigger. That's incredibly dumb. If you think about it, if everything in your sight got bigger, where would it go? Right? If it's actually 1 degree in width, but it appears to be 1.5 degrees in width, everything gets wider by that same amount. So something straight ahead gets wider by that amount, and something to the side gets wider by that same amount. They're going to collide with each other. How does that work? It doesn't actually work that way. Atmospheric lensing isn't magic. It's understood how it works, and it's not how you think it does. Glenn Salch, a pathological liar, now says it's not measured, it's assumed through rendered model. So you're saying that the angular size of the moon has not been measured? You are a liar. Gotta light a flurf. Gotta light a flurf. That's what he is. All right. Sean Hawkins, why can't I see tiny points of light from California? Why can I? Yeah, but I can't see the 2.5 mile tall mountain in Hawaii. How does perspective work on flat Earth? However they need it to work to make their pre-selected conclusion palatable to the gullible and indoctrinated masses. They're not that massive. Followers that send them money. So, am I out of callers? Yes, I am out of callers. So this will be the last person if somebody else wants to come in. Glenn Salch says, no, I'm saying you didn't measure the distance to the sun. The distance to the sun has been measured, Glenn. And it wasn't based on a model. It was actually based on measurements. But we can go over it. I'll go over it right now while we wait for perhaps somebody is interested in coming in. We'll see. Right. There's this. There's that. Let's make sure this is, yeah. All right. Where'd it go? All right. So there's my web browser. MCToon.net. Right there. So it's actually /sun. So there's many ways that the distance to the sun has been measured. Here is one that wasn't actually part of the measurement. It was a side effect of the fact that they did some things with the sun. So this particular one here, radar echoes from the sun. I hope you're paying attention, Glenn. It's for you. Pay attention. You don't have an excuse now. You cannot lie and claim that it's not been measured. I'm doing it right now. I mean, you will lie because you're a flat earther. Gotta lie to flirt if it's what you do. But here it is. Radar was bounced off of the sun. A distinct pattern of long and short pulses were sent and received. Right here, you can even just click. I already did the work for you, Glenn. You can click and look at the PDF right here. You don't even have to go to the their website and get it. So here is the received bounce back from the sun that they got. You can see here on this bottom right here, where it was very close to the signal that they sent. Right? Let's see. All right. That's it. The picture's the interesting part of that. This is the radar array that they used. They did it about 1,000 times, 1,000 different ones since April of 1961. Between 61 and 66, they did it. They did it for 16 minutes, and then they stopped, and then the signal came back after 16 minutes. They received a signal back. And I do see Alan Evans. After I do this, Alan, I'll get to you. They did not just do it once. They did it a few times. Here's another one. Okay, yeah, radar echoes of from the sun, and then radar studies of the sun at 38 MC per second. That's the frequency. So that was 16 minutes. The other one was, if you read the paper, it talks about, I summarize it down here though. So here we go. Here we go. So one of them says 960 seconds. That's the 16 minutes. The other one said approximately 100 seconds or 1,000 seconds. So you take that, it's 960 seconds, 1,000 seconds. You take the speed of light, which is known. Denying it doesn't work. If you think it's wrong, falsify it. Don't just say nuh-uh. There you go. We can get the distance because one direction is half of it. So instead of 960, we take 490 plus or minus 10. It gives us 146 million kilometers. And then I gave a margin of error to get plus and minus 143 to 149 million. That's between 89 million and 93 million miles, based on just how long it took for the radar to bounce. Now, you may, in ignorance, claim that that the sun is a black body and it won't reflect. Well, in reality, black body radiators are only hypothetical. They are not real. There is no thing that is actually that. There is an entire discussion of the sun and its ability to bounce things back. Of course, all you need to do is, once you say, well, that's not possible, you say, well, they did it right there. So obviously your assumption, your pre-selected conclusion when you're saying that's not possible was wrong because they did it. Something is wrong with your presumption there. So, all right, Glenn, I hope you're learning here. This is at mctoon.net/sun. You can you can peruse all of these things yourself in your own spare time. So, Glenn, I expect that you will not ever again claim that the distance to the sun has not been measured, because that will be a lie if you say it. This is not the only measurement of the distance to the sun that is linked on this page. There's some other ones here as well. And if you choose to not read it and then make assertions like it's based on the assumption of the size of Venus, these are not. But of course, that particular one has been confirmed because, yes, they did make an assumption based on the size of Venus, which has later been confirmed. So there we go. We're all good. All right. That's that. Glenn, I know, being a flat earther, that you will probably lie again because all fliffs are liars. But you are without excuse. So we've got the final. Oh, we've got two. We've got three. Holy cow. Alan Evans is coming in next. Then it's Frank. Then Roland. All right. We're going to have to move along pretty quickly here. All right. Alan. Ooh, are you going to be on camera, Alan?
Yeah, I'll be on camera.
All right. There we go. Welcome, Alan. Alan, you've done some voiceovers.
I have.
So when I need a British accent, sometimes Alan is the one. Biff Tannen says I'm balding on the sides. It's because I got a haircut today. Plenty of floofy hair.
I'm just balding everywhere these days.
What time is it? I hope that you're getting up and not.
I am indeed getting up. It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, good. Because you've been known to stay up. Like this would be like, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah, this is probably you have serious back pain and insomnia, which gives you insomnia.
That's I suppose, and some ailments like that will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like at least it's something to do in the middle of the night when you can't sleep.
True.
And I came on because I was going to say, we've measured the distance to the sun. We used radar.
Yes.
We used radar. We measured the distance to Venus. Anybody can essentially use radar and measure the distance to the moon.
Yeah, it takes
that's
a strong
within the bounds.
It takes strong radar to measure those other things, but you can do the moon yourself.
Yep. We've also radar measured Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, I believe.
It's on that page. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't actually read that page, so
I set this one up for when I first debated what's his name? The pharmacist from England.
Oh, the guy I'm very glad doesn't do my drugs.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I replayed his the debate a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I can recognize his face.
It's okay. Nobody cares about his name.
As long as we know which one we're talking about.
Yes, that guy, that one. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay. Other measurements of the sun and other planets. We've got Mercury, Venus in this publication here that I listed. So not Mars in this one. But there, yeah. And you used to work with radar.
I did indeed.
So the radar horizon.
It's a real thing. It's a real awkward problem. And of course, height finding radars have the same problem. You have to actually calibrate the curve to get the correct altitude for the return based on the slant range. because what you do for
Yeah.
height finding, in the old days for height finding radar, essentially you turned everything through 90 degrees and scan the radar vertically up and down. So imagine you've got the fan that you have that goes round for a normal radar. So narrow but tall. For a height finding radar, they would simply flip it on its side.
Oh yeah, and that's on top of it's on top of the other dish.
Well, no,
sometimes.
it would be a separate area. What you often see on top of the big dishes that scan and go round would be a secondary radar. So it'd be a interrogator to interrogate the transponder on the aircraft.
Okay.
You know, when you get, you know, on the aircraft, when they talk about the modes, the mode they set, like they set 777 for an emergency. It's the aerial for the system that interrogates that, because that's an interrogation. So it's called secondary radar, because primary radar uses the actual RF energy from the transmitter, goes out, hits a target, comes back, and you measure the time delay from that.
Yeah.
And you can detect, as long as the target is big enough to detect, you can detect it. Whereas with secondary radar, you send out a pulse or a series of pulses. They get to the aircraft. The receiver in the aircraft receives those pulses, and then in return sends its own series of pulses back with a fixed time delay. And so you can measure the time from when you sent your interrogation out. You add in the delay at the receiver at the aircraft and measure the time when it comes back. That will give you the range to the target. You get the bearing because you've got the bearing that the aerial is pointing at, and then you get the, so you don't need, so it doesn't need to encode that information. It leaves, because obviously this is something that's been going on since World War II.
Yeah.
With what they called IFF, or identification friend or foe. So you have a device in your aircraft that tells your side whether or not you are a friendly or not a friendly.
Are the codes? I suppose if all the planes are the same, right? If all of the A123 plane has the same pattern that it sends back, then the bad guys would figure it out anyway.
Yeah, and of course you can keep changing it all the time. I mean, with the system that is in use now, the code is a 3-bit octal, so you can send 3 bits of octal as your code.
3 bits, so 0 to 7.
Yeah,
that's it.
3.
Okay.
So yeah, it's 3 characters, and it's octal.
Oh, 3 octal characters. Okay, so
yeah. Sorry, I'm. It's early in the morning. I've just woken up.
Yes. Okay. Not a lot of data.
No, but it's enough to identify the aircraft, because air traffic control will be giving each aircraft a code to squawk, as they call it.
Yeah. That's cool.
So it's a decent amount of data. Like I say, if you set it to 777, things start getting interesting very quickly, because
it's all ones.
Yeah, and it's the emergency code.
Oh,
so if you set that, you have an emergency. It's the same as shouting "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday."
I see. Okay.
You do that, and instead of air traffic control telling you what to do, you tell them what you want to do. Very often.
Nice. We got Andrea Huddle says, Alan Evans, good to see you looking well. How are the GK?
The grandkids are great, thank you, Andrea. My daughter's just passed the driving test, so I get to see them a lot more now.
Oh, that's nice. Is the driving test, what does the driving test entail there?
You do a theory exam, which is multiple choice, and then you do a practical driving test, which is about 3/4 of an hour.
Okay, is that on a closed course?
No, that's driving normally on the streets.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my daughter is a very good driver, but she's really bad at practical tests. I mean, even stuff she's really good at, she's really bad at practical tests. So it might have taken her quite a number of attempts to pass the test. Also, she wouldn't have been able to drive for a while anyway because of health reasons. Because her diabetes was a bit out of control for a while.
I see.
But yeah, it's nice because it's half. She lives about half an hour away by car, 2 hours on the bus.
Oh wow!
It's 3 buses. They're around the houses, and the last bus they have to get, which is 40 minutes. Yeah, it's about every 2 hours.
That's tough. That's a lot of time to be traveling.
That's what comes of living in a nice rural village in the back end of nowhere in England. I mean, yes, it's great. I live literally the other side of the tiny little lane where I live is a national park.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah.
The smallest and newest of our national parks, the Norfolk Broads.
Frank Burns says that public buses are the last relic of the Spanish Inquisition. I don't know why I would say that, but speaking of Frank Burns, he is coming. So I'm gonna move on to Frank Burns. Alan, thank you very much for popping in. I have a great day as your day begins.
I shall catch you. Can I just quickly plug Terry Davis and the Aussie Perspective? I'm sure he'll be doing his usual stream today because it's Wednesday morning now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So about 4 hours, yeah. Terry Davis Aussie Perspective show shall be on at around midday, 1 o'clock UK time.
Okay. There you go, people. You got something to watch later.
The regular peanuts know who they are.
Yes. All right. Well, Alan, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
All right. And Frank Burns, here we come. You see two of me. Fix that. All right. Frank Burns is connecting. The Spinach Inquisition says, "Ha! I bet you didn't expect me. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition." All right, Frank Burns.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Ooh, he's listening to me on YouTube.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can.
How are we?
I'm good. Frank Burns is, if you're not a fan of MASH, Frank Burns is one of the characters on MASH.
That's me, yeah.
The TV show.
Hello to the chat. I would like to say hello to the chat. How's everyone going?
It's good. I'm good. The chat, how are you? Do you have a bird in the background?
That's my wife. She's trying to she wants to escape, but it's no use.
It's your what?
No, it's a bird. It's a love bird.
Okay, it's a bird. Okay. Excellent. What was Frank Burns's nickname in MASH? Says Mandevil.
Is that a question to me?
Yes.
Ferret face is one of them. Yeah.
What was? Carrot face?
Ferret face. Ferret face. Yeah.
Ferret face. Oh yeah. Well, you were gonna be first up, and then you had to go
Yeah,
somewhere.
something came up. I didn't want to waste your time with anything unrelated to flat Earth.
There's nothing in particular on deck today. So
Oh, excellent. I also wanted to congratulate you in person on the horizontally opposed debate. It was absolutely brilliant, fantastic.
the horizontally
made
opposed.
Mikey Smith. You remember Mikey?
Oh yes,
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
he was fun. He got it so mad. Every once in a while I pop over and I watch one of his live streams, but I
Yeah,
can't.
oh.
It's they're 2 hours of him just rambling, right? So I'll scrub around. I'll listen like it's all of a minute I'll spend, and way too often he talks about me. In the 1 minute I spend looking at the video, I hear him say my name.
You're the only one that he mentions from the truth community. Oh, not the truth community.
Really?
The science community. Yeah, yeah.
I'm so touched, Mikey Smith.
He really hates you, like properly hates you. It's fantastic.
Oh, and yeah, so it was yesterday, I think, and I just commented, said, I'm glad that I don't have to pay rent to to live in your head.
Oh, he would have hated that.
He doesn't spend much time reading his comments, does he?
No. No, he doesn't spend much time reading at all, unfortunately. But
no, he's
free
not,
entertainment.
He's not good at that. But I liked talking to him. But apparently he's not a fan. So all right.
I also wanted to say something. Now, Toon will deny this up and down. He'll say this is a lie. But this man, I told him in Discord that my wife was ill. She was dying, and this man not only helped me emotionally, but he sent me $5,000 to help with the costs. And I just wanted to thank him personally for that. And he'll deny it, but what a fantastic man.
I wish that were true.
Yeah, exactly. See, he's denying it, but what a fantastic man.
Yes, well, at any time I can...
She's dead now, but thank you.
That's good to hear. I mean, sorry to hear.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you. The only reason I wanted to talk to you today was to ask. I would like to know your ranking of the Batman films, best to worst.
Oh,
because you are a man that loves Batman. Yeah.
I number one, Ben Affleck is not Batman, so I've actually not watched any of them.
100% agree.
So yeah, Ben Affleck has the fecal touch. Everything he touches turns to crap. So I probably would start with the 1989 Batman.
The Burton Batman.
And then the what is it, 92? I think what happened is they kind of got worse. The one, is it the Batman and Robin, I think, was so bad.
The Joel Schumacher one.
I paid full price to go see it, and I actually left.
Oh no!
So
that's George Clooney.
I don't know.
That's the George Clooney Batman, isn't
it? I tried to scrub it from my memory, so
yeah,
I can't say
the Batman credit card.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that section from 1989 up to Batman, the prior to Batman and Robin, they went downhill, right? The one with Schwarzenegger was hard to watch. It wasn't great.
No.
Then there's the Heath Ledger ones. They're good. They're very different. The voice was just a bit much. And the makeup around the eyes, I couldn't stop looking at the makeup around his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why would you? My suspension of disbelief failed for that part, but I did enjoy those movies. The version of the Joker there is very twisted and more appropriate than kind of the comical one that Jack Nicholson did. And then the Batman from the 60s is just, it's so campy. I just could not like. Right. Oh, and Rolling My Boulders, talking about the Lego movie. The Batman Lego stuff is a whole different thing. They're fantastic. Absolutely great.
Oh, are they?
I really did. Yeah, the Lego movie and then the Batman Lego movie one. Those were good. Those were a lot of fun.
Have you seen the latest the Batman?
I have not actually seen that one yet.
Oh wow. Oh, you need to see that.
So yeah, and I missed it in the theater, and then I just haven't. Here's the reality: is I don't watch a lot of stuff, and when I do, my wife and I, it's almost exclusively when my wife and I watch something together. Which there aren't a lot of nights of the week that we don't have something to do, so we don't watch a lot. So and I probably will watch that eventually.
Definitely do. It's very good.
Anyway, the my favorite part of the 60s Batman movie was when they break into the UN. And all of the world leaders are made up in the most ridiculous stereotype looking outfits and caricatures of the people that they are supposed to be. Which you could not do now, but in the 60s it was totally acceptable. And they're arguing. They're just yelling at each other. And the Penguin goes around and turns them all and removes all, whatever, he does some magical thing that extracts all of their water from their body and leaves them as a little pile of dust on their chair. And nobody else in the room notices. He goes and he gets to everybody. There's one person left. That one person is still arguing with all of the other piles of dust. It's so ridiculous that you just have to have some appreciation for it. Then, of course, when they go back and they reconstitute everybody by putting a dropper of water, I think, if I remember correctly, just a tiny amount of water, which wouldn't be nearly enough. It reconstitutes them back to where they were. So they come back, they just blink into existence, and they're still arguing.
Straight back to arguing. It was
without
a different time
noticing
in the 60s.
anything happened. So
and then they started dancing.
I don't think the UN.
They made a
people
few.
started
No, well, they made a few of those 60s Batman movies, haven't they? I've seen a couple of them. God.
Yeah, yeah. The one with Adam West is what I'm talking about. So yeah.
Adam West, yeah.
Roland says I might re-up my call just to make you talk about the trouble with tribbles. Oh, geez. All right, Roland, bring it on. The Batarang, yeah, the Robin, bring me the bat shark repellent. Oh, so bad. What? Yeah. Bat shark repellent. And,
Everything is in that belt.
He's punching it. You can just see like the plastic head deforming as he's punching it. So bad.
You can't beat it. Do you read any of the graphic novels or the comics at all ever?
I haven't for quite a while. I have the Killing Joke up there in the bookshelf.
That's the best. That's the best.
Up there. Yeah, I have the first print of it, and I bought several different later prints. I actually sent one to FTFE, not the first print. He doesn't get that one. but I sent
He
one of
doesn't
the
deserve
later
that.
printings. So he has
That's
my
good, yeah.
copy of that. I have the graphic novels. I have the Dark Knight, the whole Dark Knight series. That's really good.
Oh, wow.
I have Arkham Asylum. That's a very good graphic novel, hardcover graphic novel.
Ah, really? I haven't read that. I'll check that out.
If you can, yeah. It's I don't know. I have no clue where you might be able to find it. Or how much it might cost.
Google. Yep.
Yep. So there you go. All right, Roland. Roland, if you're gonna come in, you're gonna have to hop on it here.
Get him in here.
Yeah, he's talking about tribbles.
What time is it there?
Right here, it's 1:23 a.m.
God damn, it's so early.
You sound like you're from, I'm guessing Australia.
You shouldn't. Did you just assume my nationality?
I did, but
yeah, you're right, 100%.
All right, because
there is no Australia.
I've gotten, I can kind of differentiate Australia and New Zealand pretty good.
It's tricky, but
you just gotta ask them to say
yeah.
deck.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll yep.
Still go out on the dick brew.
Yes. Manabrat said you could get some aurora in the next few nights. Oh, could we? That'd be good. I've seen the aurora once in Minnesota here, and it was pretty good. It was pretty cool. I could wear my sunglasses right here. My
sunglasses.
My colorblind correcting sunglasses. You probably can actually see what I'm looking at. Can people at home? Can you see what I'm looking at? You can see like down here. You see that down here is that's the my website right there. And then above that, right up here, you can see it, right? Is me. And over here, right, is me again. That's the OBS window. Nothing to dox myself with here.
I think it's time for bed, yeah?
It is soon. I'm a night owl. 2 a.m. is not
starting to get a bit into here.
But all right, Roland, this is your chance. There's no link in the scrollable history, and people are calling me out saying I'm a wuss. Okay, here we go. All right, this will be it, people. Roland is it. But, Frank Burns, thank you very much for stopping by.
No, thank you. Thank you for everything. My wife, everything.
Your bird. Your wife. Your bird's your wife?
Yeah.
Could be. Could be worse. It could be a Tesla. He had that too. So, all right. Thank you. We'll see. Oh, he's out already. Thanks a lot, Frank, for stopping by. QC says, can I do a Minnesotan accent? Do I not already do a Minnesotan accent? I do appreciate that you don't think I have a Minnesotan accent, but I can do a little. We were a couple weeks ago. We went camping in pretty far north. It was the something Portage. What was the Savannah Portage State Park? It was pretty far up there. Not too far, but the people there had a pretty strong accent. So, and I say to my wife, like, wow, that they grew up in the area. So, all right, we've got Roland. Roland.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. First time
hello.
we've had Roland on here. Welcome.
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller.
All right. Well, glad you're here. What you're supposed to lay down the smack on Glenn? Is that what's the deal is?
I I closed the YouTube chat because it's out of sync with the Zoom, and I can only think about so many things at one time.
Yeah, you gotta
If maybe Glenn could join us.
preserve. Oh yeah, Glenn, come on. You gotta preserve
I'm
your
I'm
CPU
open.
cycles.
I don't know. Can you host two people at once on the call-in show?
I can. So Glenn, this is it. Now, I mean, I've already sent it to Glenn. I don't know. He seems a little gun shy.
Well, you had an F-14 pilot calling me out in the YouTube for a while.
An F-14 pilot?
Yes.
Like a flurf?
Well, I don't know. He flexed his F-14-ness on me.
Uh-huh.
I kept asking him questions about showing the. Well, I don't know.
What did you ask?
Oh, geez, they were. I worded it carefully, you know. I'd have to go back. All right. Let's see. I can probably get back there.
He says, "I'm on here right now. What's wrong with Glenn? We want to hear your voice. We want to see your face when you're disappointed."
Is he? Okay. All right. So yeah. So let me get there. If Glenn's talking in the thing, I'll just mute the whatever and then I'm Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was the F-14 pilot.
Oh. Well,
and he's saying
Obi's
he's not
no
a flurf.
Yeah, no flurf there.
Yeah, he's saying he's no flurf. But he flexed his F-14-ness on me.
Oh, well, that's a good flex.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say? Geez, I said it's gone. I can't scroll back that far. I said things like I don't know why sitting in the back seat of an F-14 would give you a lack of evidence of the missing non-curvature of the Earth.
Okay.
And he said that made his brain hurt.
It was I think it was the construction of the negatives in the sentence.
I've learned from the best.
Too much time with the flurfilk?
Well, those positive claims get you in trouble, so the more negatives you can put into a sentence, the faster people will just say their brain hurts.
So they do. I love how they think that if they use a not in a claim, it's no longer a positive claim. Even if it is a positive claim.
My current favorite is gravity, because if I go into a place, people say, "Oh, you believe gravity? Give me your best proof of gravity."
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I don't actually have a proof of gravity. It's very consistent with everything I've seen. But if you've got some observations that are inconsistent with it, then that would be extremely compelling disproof. Please. And I've talked to quite a few flat earthers, and they're very much, do it ourselves. If it's something that, needs $1 million budget to do, that doesn't really count. So, experiments that we can feasibly do on shoestring budgets that are inconsistent with the predictions from gravity, lay them on me. Change my mind.
Yeah, and then the evidence is forthcoming, right?
The bans are forthcoming.
Oh, they ban you then.
Yeah. That's something only a troll would ask for.
That is the essence of the Flurf echo chamber. That when somebody asks them something they can't answer, rather than admit they can't answer, ban, because that's how proof is done.
Well, you had a guy on a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or something, and he was a flat earther. and he said, gravity is at the heart of the globe. And if I can kill gravity, I can kill the globe.
That was to Corey 1 week ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was actually very correct.
Yeah.
Gravity is at the heart of the globe. The reason it's a sphere and the reason of everything really seems to be because of that.
The sun would not be able to do nuclear fusion if it wasn't for gravity.
Yeah, so Corey was more correct than he realized. More correct than I think he maybe wanted to be.
Yeah.
And that kind of, you can just take that and sort of turn it on its head and say that, like, if you can't get over gravity, you know, then you can't have flat Earth. If gravity is real, flat Earth can't be.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. There's no... The only things that flat earthers ever offer me to counteract gravity are high school Cavendish experiments and
you're like low quality ones.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah.
High school Cavendish experiments and controversial astrophysics.
Yeah,
that's
which
it.
is a little, yeah, controversial astrophysics is first. The Earth is a globe, and these things are very far away. So it kind of doesn't work for them, but they don't see that.
But they say they tell me. Well, some of them tell me. Others say I'm not a flat earther, but some of them stand by it, and they say that they offer the controversial astrophysics as a hostile witness.
That's not how science is done. This isn't a courtroom.
Well, I mean, even if it was a courtroom, the so-called hostile witness, you don't just read things they said in the past. They're on this. They answer you. The so-called hostile witness is present, and otherwise it's hearsay. Whatever. So really, I came on to say that 89 Batman is number one. I agree. But the whole Lego Batman is the second best. I mean, they lay hard on that, I can't do it because I've got my afflicted past, and if it doesn't jive with my afflicted past, then I can't do that. I've got dark...
Yeah, I agree. I think the Lego Batman are fantastic, but I put them separate because they're not live action, right?
I see. So then, but what about the quote from The Simpsons? I don't need molded plastic to improve my physique.
Yeah. That was Adam for those at home. That was Adam West.
Playing Adam West.
Playing Adam West, yes. On The Simpsons. Yeah.
But the best part of that quote is that he kind of did need molded plastic to improve. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, he did not have a great physique.
No, and he was in spandex.
Yeah. Well, I think was the top like a little looser fitting.
I don't think, maybe no. It was all spandex. Maybe there's a cape. I mean, but the shirt and the pants were. He was a scuba diver.
What? Oh, because it was all spandex.
It was all spandex, yeah. Okay. I've got a joke.
Okay.
What did Batman say to Robin right before they got in the car?
Who's Robin?
Robin, get in the car. Sorry.
Yep, that's right. Apparently we have Bev in the chat. Oh, we do.
Oh, will Bev join us? I'll go versus Bev.
Oh, Bev, do you think Bev has the courage?
No.
Bev only has assertions about things that are incorrect on top of and zero evidence. But all right. Oh wait, I've got Richard Moulton and Albino Bad Guy are both Albino's already been on here. I can't go on. My goodness.
I was just scrolling the chat and I've just gotta mention somebody called me out. What am I talking about? Lack of evidence of the non-curvature. And I just wanna re-emphasize when there are 3 or more negatives in a sentence. That's all.
You just count the negatives, right? And you divide by 2 and take the modulus, right?
Are you? I mean, that seems pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
First counting. But yeah, count the negatives, divide by 2, take the modulus, and then Boolean not against that with the I didn't premise.
Yeah. All right. I put the link in for Bev, but
I can step aside. I mean, if Bev wants to go without me, I'm happy to.
I would love to hear you smush on Bev.
No, Bev smush on me.
Good. No. That could never.
Glenn is still here. Glenn's talking about light speed.
He's like, yeah, it has to be perfect. Really? Well, Glenn, what absolutely perfect measurement convinced you that the Earth was flat? Use that same. Just send us the thing that is the same standard of evidence that convinced you. Of course, you don't. All right, hold on. Albino has a quick question. Albino, you can come in. You said it's quick. You can come in, and then we'll do Richard. We're just waiting for Bev, and if Bev doesn't, if he lacks the spherical objects in his panties, then I'll get it. Yeah.
So I'll just chill and be quiet until addressed.
Glenn says there is such a thing as a perfect vacuum. There's just not a mechanical means to produce one. That's where you're wrong. Well, where is this perfect vacuum? Please send the peer-reviewed publication to it. The DOI link, if you would. All right, Albino Bad Guy. Microraptor, not smooch. We're not saying that Bev's going to smooch. He's going to smush. Smush. All right.
Am I on?
All right, we got you, Albino.
Okay, I had a real quick question/challenge for you regarding what you were talking about before. What if you took your, more of a question because I'm not great at math, but what if you took your yoga ball and you got a set of wooden dowels, 3, 4, whatever, wooden dowels, and glued them to it perpendicular in different places, set it out in the sun, obviously build some kind of platform for it to sit on so it stays steady, and you measured all the angles, did the calculations. Like I said, I'm not great at math, but intuitively, I think you'd be able to calculate the size, radius, diameter, circumference, everything of the yoga ball itself.
Oh, yeah.
And would you also be able to calculate the distance to the sun from that? Would that depend on time of day, time of year, anything like that?
The angle, all right, number one, you need to know the GP of the sun. So, right, because that's an Eratosthenes is what your type measurement is what you're talking about. So, but yes, if you could get the GP accurately and you could get the height of the stick and the height of the shadow accurate, or the length of the shadow, then you could get a pretty good radius, circumference, diameter of.
You want
of
local solar noon.
You don't need to have no, you wouldn't have to do that. That it just helps for things. But if you know where you are and where the sun is, the GP, you know enough things. It's a little more complicated math. But yeah, if you arrange it so that it is local solar noon for that particular stick, and then do the measurements, then that removes a little bit of the math that you'd have to do otherwise.
So you'd have to have one stick completely plumb to the Earth.
Well, no, that's the GP. Yeah, you'd need to know the GP, right? And you could use one of the sticks to actually get the GP, because if there's no shadow, then you'd have it. Yeah, which is the same way that Eratosthenes did it. He didn't use a stick; he used a well, but he didn't need to look in the well on the day of. He knew that on the day of, because of history, that there was no shadow in the well. Yeah.
Okay, I was just thinking that something quick challenge, maybe something you can put out there for somebody to.
That'd be good if somebody wanted to do that with a sphere, and the larger the sphere, the better, because of the margin of error.
That's why my first thought was the yoga ball you have that you use for certain things. Maybe now you can get a purple one that you have in your glasses.
Maybe it is purple, and I would not know. No, I think it's blue. All right.
But yoga ball seems like a good size to start with, and give it a shot and see what we could come up with.
Yeah. Well, if you remember the video that I did, I put the strings on it. I did not measure the length of those strings. If I had measured the length of the strings and I had the angles, then I could have I used a formula that Clive Wells helped me prove. He gave me a proof of that. Then I could get the radius, diameter, circumference of the yoga ball just from the length of one of the sides and the three angles. But I didn't measure it, and I took the strings off, and so I'd have to do it again. So I might at some point.
So in theory, you agree sticks and a yoga ball should be able to prove the radius, diameter, circumference of the yoga ball.
It should show that you can use sticks and shadows to measure the radius of a sphere.
But then, I mean, really the main question is, using that, can you actually calculate the distance to the sun?
The distance to the sun, that's the second part. Would be harder. Because the way to do it would be to form a triangle, right? So you have 2 points simultaneously getting their angle to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And the margin of error of that measurement, you need many significant figures. So with sticks on a yoga ball, you're not going to get enough significant figures. It's actually kind of difficult on the Earth to get enough significant figures without some pretty precise measurements to actually get that. And of course, you need to know the shape of the Earth first, so that you know how far away you are from that person, from the other person, right? And where you are in relation to each other, because you're forming a triangle.
Oh, you're saying two yoga balls with two people and
no,
separate sets of sticks.
On the real Earth, to measure the distance to the real sun, you need many you need a very precise angle measurement to the sun to get any sort of a good distance measurement. And that requires first that you know very accurately the shape of the Earth. So the question that the flat earthers claim is the shape of the Earth. So you could get the distance to the sun if you already knew the shape of the Earth, which of course the flurfs, that's the point anyway.
But even assuming the Earth was flat, using the sphere like a yoga ball, wouldn't that give you the information you're looking for?
Yeah, if you
for
were
like
to,
a distance to this.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
It's a simpler triangle to
extremely precise measurement. So margin of error is off this chart, but still, it's theoretically possible.
Yeah. Batman says the yoga ball's too small. It's. I mean, nothing's actually too small if you can be precise enough. But yes, the for practical stuff, yes. It's
Adam Savage has a great video about measurements and being precision for his what do you call it? Sorry, I don't mean to call it a different channel.
Oh no, it's a
he's
fantastic
got-
video. So good.
If you saw it, with the he's got a lot of good stuff. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say real quick.
All right.
Thanks again. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, we got no try thinking, no Bev yet, and no Glenn. So we're gonna let Richard come in.
Well, hold on. I just gotta. I have to comment on the self-restraint involved for the two of you to say nothing's too small as long as you're precise enough, and for me to not make the.
You could talk about
the obvious comment.
Plank length.
Well, the Steve Carell comment that everyone is already thinking, which I will not say, and I'll mute myself.
That's what she said.
See, you had to.
I did. I did. All right. This is it. All right. Unless one of the Flurfs decide to find some intestinal fortitude, Richard is the final guest to come in, and then we'll wrap it up with Roland and Richard here.
Ah, what an auspicious.
Oh wait, so Richard v. Roland?
Richard is Obi-Wan, by the way.
Obi-Wan. Oh,
the F-14 pilot.
Yeah, man. So I thought you were a Flurf. I swear. And you got me. I'm going to admit I got trolled. I admit it. I was an idiot. But in my defense, I had been arguing with Glenn for about an hour, and I believe that my brain had turned to mush by that point. And you got me so easy with the triple negative.
He doesn't have the tab.
I didn't have tab
from NASA to
Diet Mountain Dew, but that's not good enough.
No.
So that's it. So I just needed to defend my honor and say you got me, brother. You trolled me really good. Thank you very much.
And fair. I did lay more than a triple negative on you. It was like a 7th or 8th order negative.
Did I almost caught it, and I kept going. Wait, what is he actually saying? But it didn't.
But see, that's the funny thing, right? Is like you can't tell the difference between this guy makes no sense and a flat earther trying to argue a thing.
That's why I thought you were Flurf.
Yeah.
And you're right, because that's what they constantly do. And again, I had been Glenn rolled by that point, so I was screwed.
Glenn rolled. Oh, that is.
Yeah, I tried everything I said to you. I tried to put as many negatives as I possibly could.
Yeah, you got me, man. So. And I wasn't trying to flex. I was just saying the one thing that bothers me about Florida is just I've seen it with my eyes, right? So
yeah, the only place I actually trolled you was when I said sitting in the back seat.
Yeah, I know, I caught that, but that's okay. I'll let that one slide.
So have you ever been just for you, Obi-Wan?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been in an inverted 4G dive with a MiG-28?
With your middle finger up. With your
I
middle
could
finger
tell
up.
you, but then I'd have to kill you.
All right. I'll take that as a yes.
So no, I was just the thing that drives me nuts with Florida. I've been high enough in a plane to see that curvature of our beautiful round ball Earth. I've seen it myself. I do have pictures. I think I said this to you a week or so ago on chat once. I have pictures. They're in a box somewhere, probably in my attic, because I didn't keep those pictures out from 35 years ago, thinking I would need them to crush some flat Earth people. So if I can ever find those pictures, I'll scan them in and send them to you.
MCToon raises a good point of you having this sort of firsthand insider experience. Do women as hot as Kelly McGillis give debriefs?
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
That's what
all I'll
she
say.
This man has been through more than one sensitivity training.
Yeah, well, I was in the Navy during Tailhook, if you guys look that up. So yeah. So anyway. All right. Well, that's all I needed to say, man. Thank you for all you do, Toon, man. I appreciate it. And
well, thank you very much.
Sorry for trolling you.
No, it's good. I am a diehard troll, and I love trolling other people. I think it's hilarious mostly. So between Flurfs and Chili Reno, yeah, that's my fun time. So it's good that I can take one.
Quantum
take one
Degreaser
myself.
taught me everything I know.
So I was not there for Tailhook. I swear to God, I was not. So
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you just have to just Google that one. So
yep.
So thank you guys. I'm going to drop off, and you guys have a great night.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. The OG Kenji is asking, where can you get one of those very, very expert shirts? They're on my Teespring. The link should be on the all of my videos, like on the bottom of all my videos. I think I can grab that. Yeah, I have the link.
So the game is apparently up, and I've been outed as a not flat earther.
Yes. Yeah. I think
if anybody had lingering doubts,
they figured it out. All right.
It's like the sleuth of the evening.
Oh, all right. Well, what it is, it's almost 2 a.m. So this video stream will self-destruct. It will become unlisted as soon as I hit end. I will re-upload it to my MCToon, MC to the TOON channel, for those that want to see it. But these types of streams I tend to not leave on there so that people can enjoy the Flurf content, but I do make it available elsewhere. So thank you for that. I do have let's see, I saw a super chat come in. I gotta make sure I get them all there. Oh, I got a couple. Ooh. Harold for $5 says, if a triangle is size 1, 1, and 1, then why do so many Flurfs drink their own pee? A good question. Can you answer that there, Roland?
Oh, that no. That's like, are you ashamed of how much you beat your wife? I don't know.
Yep. When did you stop beating them?
Right.
Timbo Turtle for 2 Australians says,
when did you stop drinking your own piss?
There it is. Flat Earthers. Glenn Selch, when did you stop drinking your own piss? Timbo Turtle says, Dark Knight Heath made it worth it. Forget the rest. I mean, there's
I gotta,
something
while we're
to
on
it.
this topic, before you go on, while we're on this topic, I was popping around the other night from Discord server to Discord server, and I just kind of jumped in a voice chat, and I heard, that's because it's God's urine, not your urine. And I left. I didn't even want to know the context. I didn't want to understand anything about.
No. Oh, please.
No. I just YOLO'd right out of there. That's because it's God's urine, not your urine.
Did you just say YOLO as a verb?
Yeah, I did.
What are you, 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I allowed to be here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 13, so I mean,
okay,
you're
cool.
a little young, but that's fine.
I got a good fake ID though.
Be YOLO'd out of there. All right, and final one, Biff Tannen. I do like some Back to the Future. Biff Tannen says, these dollar bills was taking up pocket space. Thank you from that. Oh, Judy, you got this, as he yeeted himself from the chat.
That's what I was saying. No, I YOLO'd myself from the chat. Get it right.
I've heard yeeted before in that used in that way, but I've not heard YOLO'd in that way before. So there you go.
Into something, right? Like you'd YOLO into it. But I YOLO'd out.
I suppose you only live once. I cannot spend that part of my lifetime in this place.
I'm talking about God's piss.
Yes, that cannot happen. All right. Well, people, on that note, I cannot recommend drinking God's piss. However you might come across it. Thank you, Roland. Thank you for everybody that stopped by. I appreciate it. I have a video already recorded for Tuesday, or for not Tuesday, for Friday on the Conspiracy Tunes channel, and I'm working on a couple more. So 2 weeks from tonight is Dion Smo, and in September I've got Archimedes Revisited, and the Cold Moonlight in person somewhere in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I'll do that. If you live anywhere near, you are invited to stop by. It will be late. We will start sometime after. We'll have to see when the moon's up, but sometime after sunset, and go until we can get a couple hours minimum. So there you go. Oh my gosh, QC, is there a 0-calorie version of God's Piss? MCToon drinks tab, so doesn't want the calories. All right, on that one, that is going to be. What are you? It's all you. I'm blaming it on you, Roland. That you brought that type of.
I can take that.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Thanks a lot.